Hello. Hope everybody's doing okay tonight. How's it going? Welcome to Dork Tales. This is generic fantasy setting number 17735. I am your dungeon master, Kelly, and my shoulder's kind of vanishing. That's weird.
You're a bit shorter than you. Yeah. There we go.
It's because I raised the screen for... Oh no, the illusion's broken. There we go. That's because I raised the screen for the last shot. There we go. Haha. Hello and welcome to Dork Tales. This is generic fantasy setting number 17735. I'm the Dungeon Master Kelly, and tonight we are doing a kind of a more relaxed game. The characters just went through a series of trials. So since learning of the little backstory bit that you just listened to, the characters have traveled inland, and as they have, they decided to go through a number of things, including a beer festival that got them roped into an undead nightmare conspiracy with a continuously growing zone of evil, and a big walking castle in the middle of it, and eventually went to meet an ancient gold dragon in the town of Onion, which is an old onion farming town built atop a platinum vein that an ancient gold dragon decided to say, dibs. While there, they met with the Gold Dragon, an ancient being called Timidius, who warmly received them and then invited them to stick around for a daily celebration held in his honor. Unfortunately, the incense at this ceremony was drugged with something called dragon nettle, white dragon nettle to be specific, and both he and Farah succumbed to its ill effects, being that it is a very poisonous substance to dragons. The only cure dwelled in the temple ruins beneath Timidius's lair. An ancient goddess named Yshar once dwelled there. The characters went down, recovered it, met with the party known as Wanderlust, who was partially responsible for a lot of stuff that happened to Mars in the beginning, and managed to make it out after fighting a beholder and nearly killing it. From there, they made a deal with Shirthus, a trickster priest of the god Shalos, and healed Farah, and actually managed to heal Timidius to some degree, although Timidius appears to be locked in a humanoid form at the moment, and is generally pretty grumpy and Ian McKellen shaped. Besides that, they also joined, or had a dwarf companion join them on their adventure, a stout, hardy, handsome dwarf named Cadamus Warforge, who is still with the party temporarily, and so we are going to swap over, and I'll let my players introduce themselves as soon as I find the button, because it's on the far screen, and the far screen is hard to see. And 1 second. There we go. All right, you should be live. Go.
Fantastic.
So why don't we start with tipping my microphone over. All right, let's start with Mike.
Alrighty. So I'm Mike. I am playing our half-elf ranger, Xenographer Right Wing, the broken damage dealer.
Yeah.
And
Are you feeling better?
Hmm?
He wasn't feeling too good last time.
he wasn't feeling too good, but he is back at 100% and better than ever. Because I just rolled max bonus on my health for the leveling up.
Me too.
Yeah.
Woohoo! 99 HP.
Nice.
Damn it! You're beating me by 1.
And they leveled up last session, so they're pretty stoked, which is why we're a couple minutes late starting tonight, because leveling up does take a while.
Still trying to make decisions.
Over to my right.
Hi, I'm Winter, and I play Marsal, or better known as Mars, the Tiefling Rogue, where nothing is my fault.
That was way louder on the microphone than I thought it was going to be.
It was very
Yeah. And yeah, I'm so happy to be level 8.
Level 8.
Level 8. Level 8. Glad we're not late.
Oh, it's good.
Ish.
Oh, wait.
Ish.
Ish.
Okay, ish.
Ishtar?
Hello, no.
Après vous.
Okay. Hello, I am Amy, and I am playing Tia Armstrong, the half-orc druid, who is also excited to be level 8, and hopefully I'll roll better than last time.
Yeah, it looked like you were looking at some neat stuff in the book.
Yeah, I mean, I'm tempted to take Tavern Brawler, but...
Do broken stuff.
All right, that the audio was not working accordingly for a second, but I fixed
Oh
it.
dear.
Okay.
Are there any feats and Xanathars?
Only racial fees.
Oh, that could be fun.
And hi, I'm Christine, and I'm playing Malia Sunsworn, the Dwarven Tempest Cleric, and I am desperately trying to choose what I'm going to do for my ability bonus increase, because I could either do an ability bonus, or I could take a feat. And some of these are pretty cool, but I can't decide, because 20 con also sounds really good.
Yeah, it's leveling up is difficult.
Especially since most of my stats are such that I have to put full 2 into one of them to get a bonus.
Yeah. Same.
But I have one that I technically have 2 that I could put 1 into each and get them into the next bonus category. But one of those is my strength, which I have gauntlets that raise it to 19, so it would just be in case I lost the gauntlets. Because otherwise my strength is only 13. Which isn't great. So if I lost those gauntlets, I'd be screwed.
Yes.
I will say though, in like the last whole like dungeon story, I've loved role playing with Malia.
Nice.
She's so much fun.
I am glad. She was just like, alright, chop chop guys. Let's get to the thing. Get the thing back to Farah.
Let's save Farah.
And let's just leave this town far behind us,
And
because...
you even helped the other dragon, and that was really cool.
And he immediately disliked me.
Well, yeah, because why wouldn't you?
Because why wouldn't you?
Why
Everybody
would you-
dislikes me.
Why would you like Xeno?
I don't know.
That's different.
All right, so welcome to Generic Fantasy Setting where the rules don't matter, and I forgot to give out inspiration to these two people.
Oh, well.
They don't deserve it.
I probably
Hey,
don't.
nerds! How's it going, Streamlord D?
Who's that?
Is it gone forever?
No.
And you all have your inspiration now, so you're inspired!
Are we?
I don't know, are you?
Maybe we need 3 more inspiration.
There's a feat for that.
So I could also take that feat that does the 3 additional proficiencies.
That's useful.
Because I don't actually have proficiency in Arcana, which I use
that-
all the time.
That's what Winter just did.
Yeah.
Well, because I use Arcana all the time.
Yeah, you do.
I use Perception fairly frequently, and Investigation, and none of those I have Perception or proficiency in.
I feel like I need to do something to boost up my dexterity because I only have a +1 to strength and dexterity, and
Come here, stinky pupper.
do better.
Would you rather do that instead of taking a feat?
I don't know.
The dog has entered the room.
Yes, he
He
has.
is, he is the 5th party member.
Do you think we should bring his bed up?
He's my cactus.
Yeah, do you want to leave it right here?
Sure, I'll go get it.
I will just keep the stream rolling. Alright, so y'all leveled up, and this level's pretty easy, so it's mostly just picking the feats and the bonuses. So,
Yeah, my level up was insanely
I have
easy.
Constitution, and I can increase my dexterity,
a
and
luck
that would
inspired
put me.
halfling divination wizard would be broken, chat.
Oh goodness.
That would mean how many rerolls? 3 for lucky, 2 for divination, and 1 for that's 6 rerolls.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take
Or no,
the ability score increase. 'Cause
What are you
that
gonna put
would
it
be-
in? Con?
Dexterity and con, because if I do +1 to con, that'll make it 18. So that'll put me in the +4 for Constitution.
Nice.
And then for dexterity, it would put me to 14, so I would get a +2 there, which would improve my general, like,
Movement?
stealth and things
Yeah, that's true.
that were lacking.
My nail's bothering me.
Alright.
You what?
My nail, like it's
And
a little
make
bit
it,
sharp.
tell it to not.
I have sharp nails. See? Poke, poke, poke.
No, but it's like it's so
They're
serrated.
the same.
Well, they're still very good.
Did you
I
like
do
the
appreciate
picture that I showed you with like the purple and stuff?
Yes, that's super
There's-
cool.
They look like they would glow in the dark.
Ooh.
I'll show you what I'm gonna get next when my phone's off.
I like surprises.
I'm getting
Oh,
super
God.
fierce ones.
A halfling divination merchant. That would be good. Drumstock. That sounds like Woodstock. I just need to do one thing because I realized that I planned this entire session, but I didn't name a town. So I need to.
Do you still have the town list
I'm
names?
clicking through it right now. Oh, you talking about the random generating one? It's in the bin, unfortunately.
Do you want me to roll your percentiles to choose one?
No, I'm just. You okay?
Yeah, it's that stupid thing of pop.
Oh, yeah. If anybody wants like a unnamed brand of pop,
What is it?
it is the red one.
Yeah, it is
The
red
red
and white.
one. Can I drink red?
Yeah, can you hand Winter a red soda
A
pop?
red drank.
Oh, do we want a glass first?
I have
Eh.
a glass. So
Yeah,
keep it there.
Just pour it
That
in.
was sneaky.
Not
See,
sponsored.
like what I do is I just cover it with my hand.
That's
Those ones are yummy though. I like
All
those.
right. Do I need to move the camera at all, or are we centered?
That will probably
I'm
be
centered
my
within
mid-drink.
myself.
That's good. That's good.
I mean,
Not.
for the most part.
Here, you know what? I'm just gonna do that real quick.
So Constitution went up to +4, so that means basically I just gotta add +1 to times 8.
There. Now everybody's beautiful.
8 times 4 is 20. Because I have a plus. That's retroactive, right? The con bonus.
For your hit points?
Yeah.
I would have, because you're leveling up,
I
it's
think
all
so.
at the same time.
Right. It's.
I mean,
It's not retroactive. It's you're doing it all at the same time.
Yeah.
no,
You'd
but
apply
I
the
got a
new-
+1.
Yes, exactly. But you did it all at the same time, so you apply that bonus all at the same time.
Yeah.
It's not retroactive back levels, but it's
Is it
current
not?
level.
Is it not?
Well, if your con mod goes up by 1, so it's say
I
plus
thought-
5
I
instead of
thought
plus
it was.
4.
Yeah.
I
Do
think-
you
I
Really
think
add
that's
it for every level
I think
past?
so.
Potentially.
I believe
Really?
so.
It's
yeah.
pretty good.
Never played it that way before.
I'm pretty overly generous with stuff like that, but
I mean, I'm down with it because it'll put me over 100.
Yeah,
If
I'd
you
be
both
down
level
for that.
that.
I mean,
That would put me
I'll
at...
check. Let me.
I think it's in the rules though. I think they wrote it in there right
they
now.
did, yeah.
What's happening? I'm so confused.
Basically, they're looking up whether or not when you raise your Constitution modifier, whether or not it retroactively adds hit points for previous levels. So if your con mod adds to your when you rolled your hit points just now, did you remember to add your Constitution mod to it?
This time I did, but for the first few levels, I didn't know that. I was only
Okay.
doing a roll or taking the average.
So
So you let me retroactively do that before because I was way behind.
yeah. And you got way better. 177.
Is that?
PHB page 177
found it.
straight. That's what's. I think it is retroactive.
If your Constitution modifier changes, your hit point maximum changes as well, as though you had a new modifier from first level.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's a very generous. Oh, Dougie is getting comfy.
So I now have +4
Buddy.
instead of +3 to con.
So now you add
that's an
1 for
additional
all the
1.
levels. So you're adding +8.
Yeah.
All right.
Plus
So
your-
everybody else gets to add an additional 7 hit points to their character if they had not already and raised con.
So if we raised con.
Yeah. Which
Nice.
If you raised con, you add 7 because you just raised
Yeah,
it
yeah,
by
but I
whatever.
don't think anybody
Thanks,
did.
Steve.
Yeah.
Didn't you?
No, I had the magical thing that raised con.
Okay.
And I don't think that counts.
Yeah, and I think I'm going to take the skilled feat.
It did when you put it on. We calculated that in.
Oh, did we? Okay.
We should have anyway. It's in your temporary mods, right? Because you have your temporary and the two are separate.
Can it be lost?
Hmm?
Is that something that can be lost or
Yes.
taken from you? Whoa.
It can, yeah.
It can. It's not great, but
It's
you know.
better than not.
That means I'm at 82 hit points. I'm still squishy, but better.
You're 82. I'm at 79.
that's pretty good. I mean, honestly, we're at about 10 hit points a level for everybody,
Yeah.
which is pretty good. Mike, what did you take when you leveled up?
I took Dex.
Okay, and you took
Skilled feat.
and Amy, you took,
+1 to my dexterity ability score and +1 to my constitution.
and Christine, what did you take?
Skilled feat.
You took the skilled feat.
Specifically Arcana, Nature, and Perception.
So because I don't have it on hand, I will allow, if you later find, because I'm allowing the feats from Tal'Dorei, the Critical Role book as well. If you see one of those, you can swap it out retroactively.
Okay.
Okay. We'll just say that you did really well on that roll, but it'll only be for this session. Okay. So we'll look at that after game because I forgot that we had talked about that, and I know that having 2 concentration spells is something you'd really like. Can you cast 2 spiritual weapons then?
They don't tell spiritual weapon isn't concentration. Is it?
I think it
I
is.
think it
I
is.
thought we checked.
Oh, no,
that
it's
before.
not. It's
Oh, it's
not. It's
not.
once it's up, it's a
It's the
time
other
limit.
thing.
Yeah.
It's Spirit Guardians.
Oh, okay.
That's a
But you could have like
concentration.
2 posses.
So, Kelly,
I'm not sure those ones
It
stack.
could get real confusing with
think so.
Anti-Magic's Shield. Yes.
because I had accidentally grabbed a 5th level spell that I haven't used, so I haven't actually tried it yet. Can I swap that out for a proper 3rd level spell?
You should.
I
I.e.
am
conjure
confused
animals.
by
I'm
what?
pretty sure you can, yeah.
Why did you grab a 5th level spell?
Because I was just going through the spell cards,
Oh, okay.
and I didn't look at the back.
I
of the
mean,
whole thing.
you can obviously swap it out for one you can legitimately have, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
But
gonna
what
go
did you? What do you lose?
Conjure animals.
Cute.
I lost Conjure Volley. which is 5th.
Oh, I think you've used that before, haven't you?
I have not.
Okay, good.
I only use my main ones are Hunter's Mark and Hail of Thorns.
Hunter's Mark is a drinking game with you.
Yes, it
Can
is.
I get somebody to reach around and grab the Xanathar's guide cards, because those are going to be very helpful for Amy in the future,
Oh, okay.
because there are quite a few new druid spells there.
Ooh, that's good to know.
The Xanathar's guide.
Is there?
Yeah, they're one of the long, thick ones. I believe they're the
There's a
third
lady
one down the
over
stack.
there.
Yes,
But
there
it
is.
is.
Cover yourself.
The blue writing, third one on the wide stack.
No, they're all the way at the bottom.
Are they? I'll get it then.
If the man finds out that he can shapeshift, it's back to the nunneries.
Oh, God. Thanks, Sailor J.
I love Persona. Oh, I hope
What?
she comes back one day.
Is she off YouTube right now?
She went off like a year or something ago because of too much
What?
like weird politics stuff and working on her book.
Oh, cool. Book. I
The
think
long,
that's
thick
most of my
ones,
stuff
gun fingers.
here.
Yeah, I mean, they are what they are.
I already did the badumch.
Oh, did you?
I did.
All right, so last session, why don't we just pick up where we left off, which is you are in that ancient dragon's lair, and I got some background music for this one, so we're just gonna hop right in. So you managed to cure him of dragon nettle poisoning, and Timidius shapeshifted down into kind of that dragonbornish.
Older man.
Well, the humanoid dragonish
Yeah.
look. So basically, it's Ian McKellen with long ears and horns.
Were there similarities between him and Pharaoh when he reverted back to that sort of form?
They have very similar human forms, humanoid forms. She has like the super long ears and like the curving horns, and their horns curve in the same way.
Okay.
So they're more back-reaching horns, whereas like you would imagine that other dragons you've seen have like the hammerhead style horns or like the front protruding like demonic horns. Honestly, it kind of looks like your horns in a little bit.
Cool.
And
Maybe we're related. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, maybe dragons are related. So,
Spooky.
8 beasts of challenge rating a quarter or lower.
so with that, where is the TV remote?
I do not have it.
That's a good question.
Oh, it's right here. It was hidden the whole time. Aha.
What kind of beasts have a challenge rating of a quarter?
A lot of them.
Oh,
There's
okay.
So you'll want the monster manual, which I have.
Yeah, because I can summon 8 of them at once.
You can also look at the very back of the book here.
So,
Okay.
Stat blocks, like
at the end of last game, he very exhaustedly came out of the pile of gold in a humanoid form, explained that he had polymorphed down to this form because it's easier to maneuver and heal. And someone made a comment that was like, oh, you look like Farah or something like that, or oh, you're just like her. And he dropped a bombshell on you that, well, yes, but if she is from the time before time, then she is one of the elder dragons. This is her shell form, what she was born into. And she will never mature into a true dragon, according to the curse laid upon our bloodline. Only we survivors have the ability to do this at will. She looked very taken aback by this, and we ended game right about there. So, seeing the distress on her face, Timidius will lean forward and say, I mean, there's always polymorphing. It's a very potent spell. Perhaps true polymorph, or one of the very, very potent ones could do the trick. I'm very sorry. I think I should go sit down. If what you say is true, though, young Right-Wing, and you do not follow your family's damnable path,
Nope.
I wish you well. But should I find that you have laid harm on this girl's head, the 9 hells will not burn you deeper than the flames that dwell within my belly.
Understandable.
I will suffer upon you. That's probably that's fine, Timidius. Farah says. Thank
That's a
you.
very dad moment.
Yeah,
very
that's very, very, very Grandpa Dragon.
It's okay.
If you do anything to my daughter.
And you will be thinking about this conversation. Farah seems fairly despondent over this. And 2 days later, you find yourselves walking through bucolic hills as you continue northward. You were given directions on how to eventually head to the Tower of Edagon the Wise. Domitius said to go north and then to the east, across several deep valleys, and eventually past the Wydale Keep, at which point you'll turn east and follow it until you reach Skilly Town.
Skilly down.
Skilly. Like a skillet.
Okay.
And in Skilly Town, you will find what you are seeking. His contract now null and void that the the mines had collapsed in on themselves. Cadamus wondered whether or not you would mind an extra traveling companion, at least as far north as the Valley of Dawn.
Sure.
No problem.
Yeah.
I figure that if we head north, there's bound to be some adventure up there.
Should be.
Hey, well, thanks for the sword. He'll hand you the short sword back as you're walking, and he will have picked up an extra great axe at this point.
Okay.
It's this wide, double-bladed labrys that's strapped to his back by a single pull cord, basically, that you can rip off at a moment's notice. You see him doing it a lot as he walks, just occasionally whipping it off and... That's good.
Yes.
Comes right off. That's the trick. They never see it coming, Horny.
Oh, okay.
Mars.
Well, they usually don't see me coming anyway, so.
I mean, I see you coming from a mile away.
I'm not going to touch that. Just
Maybe at the
I'm going to
brothels.
leave that one there.
And he'll wander off.
Malia was about to say.
I
I think we're talking about a different sort right now.
Yeah,
You know what I mean.
So,
With you, Mars, we're never sure.
True.
took the words right out of my mouth.
As you're wandering over a hilltop, can I get everyone to, let's see, what's your static perception roll? So,
15.
pardon me, your passive perception. 15,
18.
18 now?
17.
17, and now yours is 12.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, because that
Girl,
right.
you can perceive.
You can perceive, you can see your own hand.
So I can change that to 12 now?
You can.
So, because you're proficient in...
Yep.
No, you put it at
Yep.
minus 12.
Oh shit, mine's better then, because I've got proficiency in that now.
Yeah, so now that's an 18.
Fancy.
Sweet.
All right.
I
All
forgot
of you-
about that.
All of you will smell sulfur.
Ew.
And as
Is it
you...
strong? Or is it like faint?
It's pretty faint, but as you crest the hill, your head will slowly turn and you'll see in the rolling hills ahead of you the green has faded away, and it's a very rocky, not quite a mountain, but bigger than a hill. That weird intermediate size between the two. And the ground is mostly clay, and broken bits of rocky shale dot the landscape, and you'll see that there is a low-walled town with a huge amount of fog? No, steam drifting up from it.
Oh no.
And this is
Is
what
that the spa town they were talking about?
it is, a small town. And as you pass, you'll see there are several wagons headed that way. The road here is actually quite busy. And up ahead there is a signpost hammered into the ground that has signs for Wydale Keep, that has signs going back to, not to Onion, but to Madaketh, and to Griffin's Peak Bridge further beyond that, and to Gladrith. To the Gladrith Spa, specifically.
Kelly,
Yes.
did we get any gold from our last?
Oh.
Because Tamidia said that we.
Did he now?
Yeah. I believe he did say
I
something
think
about
he said that he would compensate you.
Yeah. But
so
he wanted to save at least $1 million.
yeah, just $1 million.
Just $1 million. Only $1 million.
Only.
Like he had to fix.
Yeah, you had to fix
the
an entire
that we
town.
broke.
That costs a little.
We didn't break it, actually.
It's not our fault.
Yeah, no, it's just.
We did not...
So what he
We
will
didn't
do...
start that spell. That's not our fault.
That's true.
What he will do right off the bat is he will give you, and can I get a persuasion roll off of one of you?
Not me.
You may make it with advantage because of Farah,
It should be mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Because your persuasion,
Because
your
now
persuasion is
I-
always high.
and you just got a proficiency with it, so go ahead and roll. Is that a nat 20?
No, I wish it was, but no, it is going to be a 20 anyways.
Full 20? Or 20 plus?
Wait, no, because your persuasion is proficient now. So you add
3, 4,
4.
You had 7
Oh,
to
yeah.
it.
You're
so
good.
20.
20? I suppose that you will need something to keep you in the days ahead. What seems fair?
Well,
You were injured critically, from what I understand.
and we had to give up a fair amount of gold for going down there to help our friend because he was critically injured and couldn't be.
Greater restoration is expensive.
It was very expensive.
Hot Springs episode.
So, some sort of compensation for that because it was a part of going down to rescue you. And Farah.
Seems fair. Well, name a number.
What's our number set for bank?
Group huddle.
We have 300 gold in the bank.
How much did you spend for the restoration?
We traded a pearl.
I think it was about 3 grand.
For 100 and
Yeah.
then
You had to
400.
pay.
We traded my 400 gold pearl.
Yeah. So
Yeah. And
400
my,
and then so 500 for
yeah,
the
it was
restoration.
500 total for the Greater Resto.
1,000.
So
I mean, the 1,000's way too low.
Are you just tittering together?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basically,
They
just
are.
mumbling.
1,000?
1,500.
500 each.
What was that?
5, 10, 15. 2,000 gold? It's a little steep.
That's a little steep.
I believe I can do that. Let me count it up.
Okay.
And for the mercenary as well, I would prefer that, yes. 12,000 gold between the 6 of you.
Alright.
That seems fair.
I'm not gonna correct him.
No.
He turns and raises a scaly eyebrow at you. I know what you meant. And then he turns back to the piles and starts separating out.
Like I said, I wasn't going to say a word.
In return, if you have any unused items that you would like to trade, I would happily take them off your hands.
Is there anything that we don't need that's just dragging us down?
I'll turn to Farah, and I'll take my sword out. Like
Keep that.
keep that. Okay.
Keep that. We have a bag of tricks and
Yeah, I was about to just suggest that one. As much as it pains me to yeah.
and that's an uncommon item, right?
I just have bag of tricks gray listed. I don't
I
know what
believe bag of tricks is uncommon.
I think it's in the DM guide.
What about your staff? You never used that since you picked it up.
I've used it a few times, but I need to use it more.
Yes, poke
Because
people
it's-
with it.
Actually very useful because it's replacing my quarterstaff.
Yeah.
What about that leather bracer I found with the insignia of the Drow Noble house?
Did you?
That's not a magic item.
No, I still have that though from.
Oh,
No, I had that.
You have
You
it?
gave it to me.
Oh, I gave it to you. Okay.
Yeah, because I was the elf guy.
Okay, so I'm gonna take
that's true. You are the elf
I
guy.
am the elf guy.
You deal with our elf stuff.
Yes.
Oh, and don't forget that
went
Mars,
to
are you
that
still
Kansas
wearing
salon.
the robe of armor hiding?
Always.
Okay, so you're walking around. The tiefling is walking around in a pink silk robe that looks like she's wearing nothing else.
You know what? I have a pink silk robe at my house. I should wear it.
You need to
next time.
cosplay. We need to get you some horns and just wear the
Oh, I
robe.
have horns.
You need to wear them.
Okay.
Just leave them here.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that next time.
I was actually
Next
just
Wednesday.
talking to our friend Caitlin last night, who played a tiefling in our Extra Life stream, and we were looking through Wish for all sorts of horns.
Oh
What?
dear.
What? Amy was telling me that my can of soda was upside down.
Yeah. Oh no! Don't open that for a while, please.
Oh, I thought it
No,
was
that's gonna be
open, and I was
after.
freaking out for a
it's
second.
not. No, it's not open. It's just upside down. Just don't open it for a while. It's not. Gonna be
That's
a bad
gonna
time.
be my intermission drink.
Is there anything else here that I could help you with? He offered.
Well, did you want to take the bag of
Book
tricks?
of
He'll buy it off you for
Poetry.
500 gold.
500? Okay. Should we stick that in the party loot since it was Farah's, or...
Farah will ask for it to go in the party loot, yes.
I also still have 4 pendants of Yshar.
What? Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. I'd keep all that stuff.
Cool.
That's interesting ideas. Oh, man, if you'd worn those
The pendants of Yshar?
against the beholder, that would have been interesting, just saying.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, with that, any other things? I would like everyone to do me a favor, and while you were in that scene before, retroactively roll me a... make me an intelligence roll.
I rolled a 1.
Okay, well, you just got 500 gold, so that's pretty good.
I rolled a 5.
Okay,
Well, party good.
Probably
19.
19? Ooh.
20.
20?
Yeah.
So as you are looking through there, you will see 2 things in the pile that will attract both of your attentions. One is something that actually, it's the thing that you would not normally look at. It's a small gray stone with a rune on it. It stands out like a black spot amidst the gold, silver, platinum, and copper.
Is it shiny at all?
No, it is
Weird.
slate
Why am I
gray.
getting... Okay.
Like, it just looks weird. Like, it's... And as you reach down, he'll look and say, "Oh, yes, yeah. It's a whetstone of sharpening.
It sharpens.
If you rub it upon a magical, an item that is not magical, for the next time it strikes, it is magical.
Interesting.
Do you use a mundane blade?
Your rapier is.
Can you use a thing like that on a rapier? Because of the type of...
Yep, you absolutely can sharpen a rapier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, rapiers are razor sharp usually.
Ooh. Fun. Yeah. Yeah.
Please, please.
Ooh. Cool.
And as you're looking down, you will see a gem. Now, what gem do you have on the Dwarven Thrower already? Because they had...
Was there one embedded
I
in
believe
it?
there was 3 gems, and 2 of them were dislodged.
Oh god, I don't remember now. I don't remember it being said.
All right, so glancing down, you will see an immense sapphire.
Oh yeah, that would work for her.
Yeah.
Or something yellow. Yellow diamond.
This is a sapphire,
Okay.
specifically. But it looks the correct size and cut quality that would fit into your hammer.
So, with that bonus for the next time they use the rapier, what does that add exactly?
It treats the weapon as magical, so it does a +1 attack and damage on the first hit.
Plus
I
one?
will
Yeah,
point at it and ask.
damage?
just for the first strike.
I'll ask him if I may. May I look at that?
Of course. You believe it
Estimate value?
could be probably about 500.
It's lovely. And I'll put it back. I don't have the money to buy it off of him, so I'm not going to say anything. And I'll put my
Do you have
thrower
anything
back.
else?
Sorry?
Do you have anything else
This fell down.
that you could trade?
Not to the value of that, that's for sure.
Do you want any scales that I found down there? There's a bunch of scales that I picked up.
That seems like a fair trade. I'll give them a proper funeral.
I have some
Black and
bronze dragons. I have some bronze scales, some black scales, and some red scales.
Red scales.
Red scales. I will hand you. I will hand him.
The others as well, please.
I will hand him a.
He will
pile of
look at the
scales.
large, almost like palm-sized red scale.
You know, the look on his face makes it look more like he was questioning that you found red scales rather than he wanted the red scales.
You should hang on to these, girl. And he passes them to Farah.
See?
She'll nod and kind of sleepily put them in her bag, not really paying attention. And with that, he'll toss you that sapphire.
I'll catch it. Thank you.
And now back in the present, as you crest the rise and see that town, the spa looks very comfortable. Your pockets weighed down with platinum and gold in whatever increments would have been suitable for traveling.
So we each got 2,000?
Yep.
Damn.
No.
Wait,
Sorry,
each?
no.
Each.
No.
Yeah, because he said 12,000 for the 6
Oh, I
of
thought
us.
you said 1,200.
Yeah.
12,000 total. He gave you each 2,000 gold
Oh,
as a
God,
thank
he
you for
says
saving his
way
life.
more. Ah!
Yes,
That's a
that's why he
650
gave you a
gold.
wry wink.
Oh no, I thought you said 1,200 for the 6 of you to like
12,000 for
Yeah,
the
he said
6
12,000.
thousand.
Oh,
And then-
I thought
see,
you
so-
we all heard 100.
Yeah.
And then he bought something off you for another 500. So
Yeah.
there you go.
We're
So
all
the
good.
so the
So
party.
500
Now,
to
mind you,
party.
that is 12,000 minus 2,000 because Cadamus took his own cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cadamus does not share the
So-
party loot.
Yeah.
1,000.
You get 2,000 each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2,000 each.
And is
Okay.
Farah's amount going in the party?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it just means she gets unlimited hats.
He's got
So-
2,500 in party.
She needs a new hat.
I'm
She
gonna,
needs a new hat. Her head's very cold.
Yeah,
She has
so
to-
that we're each tracking our own gold,
Yeah.
right? Cool.
So
get
put
2,000?
Farah's in the party loot.
Put a 2 right there.
Jesus.
Actually,
Yeah.
if you wanna just like put Farah's loot on the side as
Okay.
like a Farah amount,
Okay.
Fair amount. Fair
Make-
bank.
Farah
But yeah,
magnetic.
you did hear 12,000 because then you turned to me and said, I'm not going to correct him. And then he said, I know what you meant.
Yeah, because he's sly and you like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, I interpreted that as
As the whole group.
we
not
heard
you.
1,200, and he's like, "No, I knew you wanted 2,000 for the group, but I'm giving you 1,200."
Yeah, that's
That's
what
what
I
I heard. Was he
Oh.
was being a bit of a dick,
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what I
yeah.
heard.
Yeah.
and I was
heard
like,
him
"Well,
being-
I'm not going to argue with a gold dragon."
Yeah.
No, no, it's the other
Well,
thing.
Yeah.
this is a better
What is the better?
turn of events.
What a
Yes.
surprising and pleasant turn of events.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah,
I only
something.
asked for 2,000 for the whole group.
And it was going to be about 5,000 to repair my thrower.
Yeah,
Okay, so
you're whoa.
almost there.
You can do partial repairs at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you find someone who's a good enough smith, you can actually get it repaired because it's a +1 right now, right?
Yeah.
It could be repaired to a +2/+2
Ooh.
+2/+2. What?
because at full strength it's a +3/+3 weapon.
So
like,
what does that mean?
attack and damage.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Nice.
right, because it's a 1/1 right now.
Yeah, it's a 1/1. It can go to a 2/2 and then a 3/3 because this weapon scales with you. And
That's
then
so
it
awesome.
potentially has a 4/4 if you unlock special abilities. Because I like to run things like video games.
Video games are good.
Video games.
Veggie games.
But not VeggieTales.
No.
Not VeggieTales
They're
at all.
actually very Christian. It's true. It's kind of scary sometimes.
Alright, so... What do you all think? Cadamus says, turning over to you.
It smells interesting.
Have you?
Smells like relaxing.
It smells like you.
Do I always smell like this?
A little bit.
I mean,
Sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
It's a little
We're kinda
sweeter than
used to
sulfur, but it's, it is what it is.
Maybe my nose is just very, very sensitive.
Maybe. Perhaps. Then again. You blend in.
So, in other words, Mars, you just have to spend all your time here.
Okay, if you say it's gonna be relaxing.
Well, we have the money for a vacation right now.
Oh yeah.
You know what they say back where I come from?
What?
You can't hang on to it when you're dead, unless you have a lot of money. Then you can. As long as you can't take it with you. So you might as well enjoy it while you're still swinging an axe.
Good saying.
yeah.
Well, I'm taking a
sure.
bath.
Let's see how pricey it is and go from there.
Yeah.
So as you walk toward the settlement,
Halfway to repairing my thrower.
there's a giant wooden wall of thick wooden planks outside, and you can hear the sound of someone hammering nails into the side of it, reinforcing the wall and just doing general upkeep. There are a bunch of halflings wandering around, staining it with a pine-colored stain to keep it from rotting from all the steam. And as you approach, an immense creature is going to loom around, carrying a stack of wood on his shoulder, almost 5 feet thick, as in like 5 feet deep worth of boards on his shoulder. This creature is standing just short of 8.5 feet tall,
That's big.
and he looks down at you. He has a large, plump nose that is slightly tinged with red around the front, long, wide, bent ears that flare out like this, and moves with a a very natural grace. Also has a little bit of a goatee and a little bit of a mustache and a large goatee that kind of pushes down. He kind of looks like, if any of you has ever seen one before, Amy, you have the best chance of this. You will recognize a furbog, which are traditionally nature-focused. They're kind of like nature giants. Very, very peaceful generally, and often druids. So you may have encountered one as you were doing your training as a druid.
Yeah.
He wanders by carrying a large wooden mallet in one hand and a bag of wooden nails that he dips his slightly bluish thumb into, and comes out with a large wooden nail about the size of one of your fingers, slams one of the boards down, and sets the others next to him and begins reinforcing the fence again. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Quite good.
Good.
Doing well.
It's good to hear. Oh, sorry, this isn't the entrance. I am building the wall again.
Yeah, sorry, where is the entrance?
Just around the corner, you want to speak to Miralar. She is the front desk girl.
Again?
Miralar.
Miralar?
No, you said building the fence again?
Yes, the steam is very, very corrosive to wood.
Oh.
So if you have wooden objects on you, I would suggest wrapping them in perhaps some beeswax paper, or maybe a lacquer, or a box, or some leather.
Good to know. Thank you.
Does that seem like something that I would need to do for, like, my magical staff?
Not for your magical staff.
My bow.
For your bow, you might want to wrap it up a little bit, just because it's toxic highly sulfurous fumes can be acidic to certain, like, unlacquered woods and things like that.
Although my bow might be lacquered.
Probably
It
is.
is a nice
Yeah.
bow.
It probably is resistant, but you wouldn't want to leave it there for too long.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, we'll want to find a spot to put it soon.
Yes.
All
Alright, well, thank you. We'll head around to the entrance. And it was to Miralar?
Miralar.
Miralar.
What was your name?
Bob,
Bob?
Nice to meet you, Bob.
Nice to
I
meet
build here.
you. Thank you.
I am of the Builder clan.
Can he build it?
Yes, he can. Look,
Yes,
he's
he
doing
Unless it
Bob
is
the
too
Builder.
architecturally complex for Bob, yes.
Fair.
Bob did not
Yeah.
go to architecture school.
Fair.
Alright.
Alright, around to the entrance we go then?
Yep.
Waha.
As you round the corner, a half-elven girl with her hair pulled back into a set of pigtails, brown, very dark chestnut hair with shocks of blue painted into it, and numerous piercings on both of her lengthy ears, sits at the counter, filing her nails. It's a wooden counter that's kind of set into the wall, almost like a lemonade stand, but slightly fancier, with a beaded curtain that enters into the actual main town. Now, as you're here looking around, there are various farmsteads outside of these walls, but it seems like this is a small hamlet that is just dedicated to this spa. And as you approach, she files her nails, which are painted bright colors, actually not dissimilar from yours in real life, Mike. And as you approach, she looks up, blows a large bubble of some type of chewing substance, which pops dramatically onto her cheek. She'll gently peel it off, put it back in her mouth. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
I'll lean up against the counter. Hi.
Hi. How can I help you? Are you here for you're here, you have a reservation?
Nope.
No.
Drop-ins. Okay. One moment, and she'll reach down and pull out a large waxy tablet. And are you here for the standard, premium, or premium deluxe diamond package?
no idea.
What are the differences?
The standard package is a daily soak. It costs 2 gold pieces for entrance to the cold and to the hot soaking pools. The deluxe is 10 gold pieces and gives you access to all of the pools, as well as our change rooms and spare linens if you do not have them. The Diamond Deluxe package also gives you access to our masseuses, spa services, and a discount on meals.
Oh, give me the
And
diamond.
how much is that one?
That is 50 gold pieces.
Oh yeah, give me the diamond.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah, why not?
Sure.
Yeah.
It seems a little expensive, but I guess you can't.
Hey. Vacation.
Are we using the group gold to pay for this? Or individual?
It's my treat, Farah says.
Oh,
Oh.
you don't have to do that.
Oh,
It's okay.
it's okay.
It's okay.
Thank you.
I could stand to get warmed up. It's way too misty around here anyway.
Now, I guess, is there also accommodation?
Accommodation can be provided, yes. Once again, independent rooms. Are you a sextuple? We don't have a bed quite large enough. A quintuple is our largest group that we normally accommodate.
That's for 6 people, not
Yeah, I think.
In
what is available.
I mean, I think we're fine sharing accommodations, but I mean, we don't have to.
we don't need a single bed for everybody.
No.
basically.
No.
We just travel together.
Well, it's autumn, so this is our shoulder season. So we do have a number of rooms available. Depending on the room, I could get each one of you in your own room for 5 gold pieces per night, 10 if you wanted the deluxe food and drink package.
You know, I will take the 10 gold for that one.
If you would like a deluxe room, that would be 20 gold, and it will be guaranteed to be the best sleep that you've had in quite some time.
I will take that one.
I'll just do the one for 10, please.
Same.
The 10.
All right, 1 royal suite and 5 regular rooms.
Separate? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have deluxe. If she's paying, I'll have deluxe.
Oh,
I've already handed the gold over for my room.
Yeah, he's doing the extra deluxe. We're doing the regular deluxe with the
Yeah.
meals.
All right. So that's all good. 1 moment, and she'll dig in a lockbox and pull out a number of silver keys. Each one has 2 keys attached to it, and then she will also hand you each an additional key, like a very small one. The first one is for your room. The tag on it has your room number, which I was able to put you in room 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and
you.
17.
Awesome.
They're all in a row. The second key is for your locker so that you can secure any items in your room safe. And then this is a room for the change room. Or this is a key for the change room locker. Should you wish to bring any of your clothing to the change rooms themselves.
Fantastic.
We do have attendants on duty. Your lock items should be secured. However, if you'd like to claim any items at the front, we can ensure any items in our grand safe up to and including 5,000 gold pieces.
I think. Do we need anything like that? Oh,
I think I'm okay. I can
I
just
think
store
I'm
my stuff
good.
in there.
yeah.
And
fine.
as part of your stay tonight, we do offer as well, aside from the massage and the spa, an entertainment package in our amphitheater.
Oh.
We have 2 different shows. One is a live show that is about... It is a recent production about the Ballyhut Battle of the Bands. And we have a special presentation from a roving minstrel. I believe it is called Revenge of the Goblin Queen.
be any one of those.
I'm very curious about both of these.
I am.
Incredibly.
Is it specifically about the most recent Battle of the Bands?
I believe so, but I haven't seen the production myself. It was written by a gnomish bard from Doggerun Bridge.
Of course it was. Oh.
It wouldn't be about the dragonettes, would it?
Or would it be about unbutton, Hunter Haste?
Oh, I love Hunter Haste. That's a really nice shirt. Did you get to see her?
I did. I met her. She wrote a song about me. It's not very nice.
Did-
It's
Did
called-
you date Hunter Haste?
Yeah. I did.
Oh my god. Are you wrong wing?
Yes, I am wrong wing. I am 0 wrong wing.
I'd forgotten about that.
I'm more of a Triance fan myself,
I met
but
her too.
Triance was pretty cool.
She was pretty cool.
She was very,
Triance
very
is
nice.
bae.
Triance was very, very nice.
This Chronicles
So anybody who's lost,
It's so good.
you have to go back to last season. And
They met a dryad named Triance and a Taylor Swift parallel named Hunter Haste.
it wasn't it Drake?
Yeah.
And,
Draco.
Draco.
Yeah, that we had to
Draco.
rescue.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he
And
got
then-
turned into a tiefling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
And wasn't there was one other person.
Wasn't it Jay-Z?
Was it?
But
No, it was an Ozzy Osbourne ripoff.
Yeah.
that's
yeah.
what it was, yeah.
Because he was
literally
an undead who parts
It
of him
was-
kept falling off and he kept calling for Sharon.
Yeah, that was great.
Sharon!
That was a fantastic episode.
It was so
my
dumb.
God, that
Oh,
whole
it's so
arc
good.
was nuts.
All right, and with that, you'll be brought over to your rooms, which are down this very fancy hallway with a plush carpet that is very warm to the touch. It's kind of strange. It's like the carpeting and the wood around here. It's a single rug that stretches down the center of the hallway, actually, with a very ornate blue pattern on top of it. And as you step off of it onto the hardwood, you'll notice that the hardwood is actually warmed.
Huh. That's cool.
In fact, all of the flooring here is warm.
Oh.
Let's see.
And with that, you can check into your rooms. Now, your room is immaculate. Picture like a presidential suite at the Hyatt or the Hilton. And the rest of you have pretty solid rooms, very large, comfortable beds that are made of down and seem to just absorb all of your stress the moment you lay down on them. As you walk inside, there's even a nice sturdy hook that I'm assuming Malia will have no problem just hanging her hammer on.
No, she'll hang her spare warhammer.
Oh, okay.
This one's going to go in the locker
Okay.
because it'd be valuable.
That sounds good. And so with that, you can go have a nice relax. Hey, puppy.
Basically, I'm going to lock all my stuff up besides some of my spare clothes.
Yeah, basically.
All right. So what do you guys do first?
I'm gonna go check out these hot springs.
Yes.
Yeah.
The hot springs sound amazing.
Malia's going to tie that change room key on a string of leather around her neck, and
Yep.
I'm assuming these are essentially naked hot springs.
They are.
Ooh,
Yep.
okay.
You will
Are
have
they
towels.
mixed?
There is a divider in the middle, but you can basically see through it.
All right.
It's more like a ceremonial divider. So it's you over there, Zeno, your
With
tall,
Cadmus.
leggy self, and Cadamus, who's like about 4'5", 4'6".
Comes up to like here.
He comes up to about your hip bone, and he's like his peck is about as big as your entire chest.
Well, I think Malia is just going to be like, screw it all.
Yeah. Valid.
She ain't got nothing to be ashamed of.
It's true.
does-
It's
And
true.
walk right into that hot spring and just be like,
Yep. Pretty much.
So there is like
Right at Cadmus's eye height.
there is a poled fence between you, basically that's almost like a prison grate, but it's enough that like a halfling could definitely fit through this.
Now, I'm assuming since this pool is probably also designed for humans and elves, that I can swim in it.
You can absolutely swim in it, and there are rocks and a number. It looks like it's built so that there are drop-offs and not. You have to feel around with your toes to not accidentally plunge into a deeper portion, but it is very hard to see the bottom. And actually, as you swim through it, the water as you splash is green.
So
And
copper?
Yeah, you can smell copper and sulfur mixing together from these springs. And there are little signs posted outside that actually will say what each pool comprises of. Some of them have high zinc deposits, some of them have...
I'm gonna try them all.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
If we spent 50 gold, I'm damn well trying them all.
all right, so...
I'm getting a massage.
I'm excited for that masseuse.
Yeah.
So you will see that the one that you go into first is an extra hot, coming in at 44 degrees Celsius or so. Your muscles melt in them, and this appears that it is lots of carbon and iron, slight acid and sulfur eating away at the dirt on your body, which you
The
were supposed to
dead
scrub
skin
on the
and
way in, but yeah. And you are going to come out, all of you are going to have, once you get clean, are going to have advantage on your first charisma checks.
Sweet.
Because you're just so confident.
Confident.
Has
and
Farah
clean.
gone in with us?
Farah will go in after a fashion. And she's wearing a towel across her body, which is mostly disguising like her tail, which she has wrapped around her torso.
Fair.
But as she gets to the water, she will pull the towel off, and you will see her in her draconic glory.
Well, once she's in the water, and after Molly has kind of recovered from muscles relaxing, she's gonna swim over and just be like, "Thank you."
She's going to look down at the dwarf firmly between her breasts. And
This is fantastic.
Mars does not care.
all
When
right,
does Mars ever care?
Never.
Never.
it's true. And
Never.
she'll just pat you on the head, or she'll pat Mally on the head.
It's adorable.
Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoy it.
And then Malia will sink back into a seat and just be like,
And she will.
"You have
lean
boneless
down.
dwarf on your hands."
She'll kind of prop you up to float away. Of course, dwarfs sink. You have flotation devices. You'll be fine.
Until we find the salt pool.
Yeah, the salt spring, which is a carbon dioxide spring or a culpriferous spring. Yes, I have an onsen list on my screen right now.
Oh my god, of course you do.
Of course I do, because
Of course you
in Japan, onsens have to have how many minerals to be? Oh, you have to have at least 19 minerals to be considered an onsen according to Japanese law.
It kind of sucks that, like, if I ever wanted to go to an onsen, I'd have to find one that's private.
Actually, they don't care about gaijin very much. If you're a Westerner with a tattoo, you can also put a bandage over it.
I have lots of tattoos, and a big tattoo.
They don't care as much if you're a Westerner. A lot of them do allow it. At least, especially in Hokkaido, where I was, like they really do. They don't mind as much if you're basically.
They understand it doesn't really mean
if you're not
anything.
Japanese, they don't care as much
Okay.
because it's that stigma. But they understand that Westerners have different culture.
so
different-
they're a little bit more forgiving that way.
Yeah, not everywhere, but there are. No one I knew had any problems in Hokkaido going, and Hokkaido's onsen country. Like that's what people do up there is go to onsens and drink beer and eat meat. It's a great place if that's your style.
If
that sounds like
What
anything,
is an onsen?
It is a naturally occurring hot spring that comprises of a minimum of 19 minerals from an underground heat source. They're thermally reactive springs.
Oh, okay. I've just never heard the term for it.
Yeah.
if
So-
anything,
But because,
winter,
like, you have to go and like you're stripped. A lot of places don't like seeing the tattoos because of the attribution to like yakuza.
yeah. If anything, though, you're a cute girl with big boobs. They're gonna be staring at you for that reason.
Yeah.
They and you do get stared at because they're usually naked. Like there are some where you can wear trunks, but for the most part they're nude. And you get one towel that you can take with you to cover your shame, and it's about the size of a washcloth,
Well,
so it's not much of your shame that gets covered.
Well, and
Or
if
also the
you're
onsen also like male female.
Most of them, yeah.
Yeah.
There are some co-ed ones, but those are usually a little kinkier.
And what I've heard from my friends who've been to Japan that I worked with and whatnot, if you're a white girl with boobs, all the older women will be commenting about your smaller waist and big boobs to their daughters and going, "Why can't you be skinny like her?"
Oh God,
Oh, no, me.
this is all your coworkers at the sushi place, right?
Yeah, one of them in particular, Emily, was very short, and she now is married to a Japanese fellow and lives there full time, and I think has citizenship now, or whatever they have for
Permanent residency.
yeah.
Yeah.
But she would say all the time about how she was a very slim, short girl, but huge rack.
Oh,
And she'd have
boy.
all the Japanese older women just... Why can't you be like Western girl? Sort of thing to their daughters.
Because
like
Western girl
Western
has
girl.
tons of hormones in their food.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
also Western girl has English background.
Fair enough. All right, let's go back to game. So speaking of amply endowed women, so Mars is very athletic build. I'm thinking, right?
And she's pierced.
Yeah, you're.
Oh, that's
This
true.
is going to be very tactily interesting for her because this is her first time going in this hot of water. I'm pretty sure.
Malia's gonna look at
Would
you and
it
ask, when did you get
bother
those
her?
done?
I think it'd just be an extra like shock of warm because once the metal heats up, it heats up through the entire surface, right?
Tingly.
So on the inside of the flesh as well as the outside goes
Yeah.
whoa,
Weird.
Yeah.
and then Tia is hopping in too.
Yeah, of course.
girl.
So what you'll notice on Tia primarily, besides that very thick, like muscly build, is quite a few scars.
Many.
I think you probably are the most scarred out of the group except for Cadamus,
Probably.
and probably about on par with him. So yeah, you guys are all languishing. Cadamus is floating around next to you, Zeno, and relaxing.
I'm just sitting there, just like, yeah.
And it's like you can
This is
still
good.
hear us talking between the two.
Do you want me to get your back?
That'd be fun.
That'd be lovely.
Malia is going to
He
inquire
drives
after
an
all your
elbow into
piercings.
your spine.
Oh, where'd you get those? You didn't have those
God,
last
yes.
time. We were had to share a bathing room.
Archers. You always have this one
it was
weak
in
spot
one-
right here.
I think, actually.
Oh
A
yeah.
metal worker there.
For me, it's all in the ass.
Bet he had
What is
fun.
happening?
I suppose so.
Oh,
it didn't
ass
hurt
and
that
hips.
much. He was good at his drawing.
That's
All in the hips.
when you're using an axe. Absolutely, it's all in the hips. That's where your driving power comes from. The hips and the left pinky. Trust me. Yeah, I mean, you're a half elf. You probably wouldn't know, but using an axe. Oh,
I've never used an axe a day in my life.
well, you've never chopped a tree.
That's the best a man could get.
Look, feel my ass.
I will feel his ass.
It's rock hard, and it goes up like his obliques and his hip flexors are like iron cords.
I think they're having some
Damn.
fun over there.
Build your shoulders up. Think of how you'd be with a nice V.
Said grab my ass.
Well, I guess Zeno's having fun then.
Let's go listen.
If I turn around, do I just see an entire row of girls
Just
just
his
watching?
eyes poking through the holes.
There's an entire row of just,
What you getting up to, Zeno?
I'm showing him what a real man feels like.
Oh.
He's learning that I've never chopped wood a day in my life because I'm a rich boy.
Yeah.
What?
At least you're not
We-
as soft as some of them.
Yeah.
That's
We paid
true.
people to do that for us.
Oh.
Touch
Oh,
other people's
nice.
asses?
Well, I
Canon
suppose-
question.
No,
Yes.
We didn't have to pay people to do that.
I don't think we ever really came up with it, but dwarves are really into metal and stonework and whatnot.
There, yes.
How big is piercing among dwarves?
I think fairly big. They're actually surprisingly big into tattoos as well. Like very geometric shaped tattoos, especially in the arms and
I can
chest.
imagine that.
Their piercings, okay. I imagine that dwarves would have a lot of facial piercings and gaugings when they're younger. Less tribal and more like industrial almost.
Like maybe the stretching.
I think the stretching would probably be something that a lot of them have. Maybe septum piercings as well. Like something like I picture like iron circles and squares and like
Yeah.
like
And also like the one that goes.
yeah.
Those guys.
Where I picture orcs having a lot more like more savage body mods. You know, like
Okay.
more tribal tattoos and scarification, whereas a dwarf would probably have very, very set geometric patterns. And if they had any type of scarification, it would probably be branding, like molten iron branding or something like that. Which, yeah. So I don't know if Mally would have anything like that, or
Yeah, I hadn't actually really thought of it
Yeah,
at
think about
all. And I'm kind of inclined towards that she has tattoos. They're just some stuff that would normally be hidden by clothing.
probably like I feel like they would go on areas like the shoulder, or there would be like a big square or a triangle above the breast, or something that kind of works with the physiology and like the geometry of the dwarven form.
Yeah.
So yeah, there we go. I will say one thing about dwarven society that doesn't come up in game. Every dwarf has a curriculum vitae. Their goal is to finish a magnum opus, a great work. Now, be that creating a perfect army, be that a perfect work of art or metallurgy, every dwarf, the goal of their life is to create a masterpiece of some kind. Whatever it is, their goal is to create one perfect thing, which is why they don't get along with elves very well, because elves tend to flip between things. And they're like, oh, I did good enough on that. Like, oh, yes, I created a masterpiece. Now I'll go see what else. But a dwarf looks at a masterpiece and they go,
It could be better.
I could do better. Are you getting too cold?
Huh? No, I'm just resting my back.
And yeah, so like dwarven society is very much like that. Humans, dwarves kind of admire humans in a way because they do a lot with the little bit of time they have, and it's really impressive how close they get to making masterworks or even making them with very little time. But it's like watching your little brother do stuff, right? And with elves, it's just like pick a major, damn it.
I want this decade, not this decade.
Elves are all about experiences, right?
General studies.
General studies, right?
General studies for 200 years.
This fits with
Oh,
character
the lungs.
backstory for my Strahd character. That's very funny.
So, with that, you'll see them like flexing and posing at each other. We get out of here. I'll teach you how to use an axe. It's all in the hips. And he starts doing a couple of axe motions, which is a very gratuitous sight from your angle. From behind, it's basically just a really muscly guy doing back bends.
It's funny, like
God.
Mars will just look at us and be like, I miss Bear.
This is basically Micro Bear.
Mini bear.
Micro bear.
I will say, though, this guy has no thigh gap. It's just all thigh meat, so you can't see a thing as he's turning. Just button thighs. Dwarves don't have thigh gap.
No, I wouldn't imagine that
They do get some chafe, unfortunately.
Lots of
but
ass.
Lots of ass. Lots.
And I would imagine, on the note of piercings, I would imagine that Xeno has like a bunch of like small hoops of 1 ear.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like just one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
see it.
Farah doesn't need any piercings
No.
anywhere because she already has like gold flecking along a lot of stuff, so it's natural.
Yeah.
Um,
And he doesn't have any tattoos.
Maybe she's born with it.
maybe it's Gold Dragon. All right, and so you're relaxing for a little bit, and as you are, as you're staring through the grate at the boys fooling around, you'll hear the sound of sloshing water. Ooh, that's
I'm
really
thinking
cool.
stuff like that sort of stuff.
That's really cool. Show the.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's
I like
very
that.
cool.
That's neat.
I don't think anybody can actually see.
It's basically
chat,
like an
but-
anvil, and
It's like a Celtic anvil.
I think
Yeah.
Tia's got like a pretty large tattoo on her back. Actually,
I could see that.
I think she's got a like.
Or like
Oh,
that sort of like hammer and
I can
like
see that.
Yeah.
can you do me
Like
a
that sort of
favor and
stuff?
make me a history roll, Christine?
okay.
I don't think Mars
Or-
has tattoos.
No, just
Just piercings.
yeah. I think that's. I don't think that Mars needs tattoos.
No.
She's exotic enough, and her body tells a story.
19.
But really,
Yeah.
you as you're glancing down that first symbol, you are going to see something similar to that
Get, like, more,
on Cadamus's right shoulder. And as you look at it, you'll see that is his clan heraldry,
like a,
the Warforged clan.
so like a-
And looking at him without any armor or clothing on, you'll see that his arms and upper chest are covered in circular burns, like sparks and metal and drips of molten iron struck him at various points in his life. It's the scarification of someone who's worked a forge for many, many years. But just something you'll notice, and you'll definitely recognize that clan, which were exiled for doing bad things a few thousand years ago. They are an outcast clan that is generally not welcome in most settlements for building engines of death. In theory, they're not supposed to be allowed to forge things anymore in polite society. So seeing those scars on him might be a slight alarm for you. Or you might not care. 'Cause he
I
seems-
mean, if it's a couple thousand years ago, that's like he's the third generation or so from that. Then
dwarves live about 500 years in this world, so he's
Okay.
probably about probably the 8th generation. Yeah.
That's a long time ago, though.
so
Yeah.
I think she's a little of the opinion of, well, it's not like he did it.
That's fair.
Can't control what his ancestors did.
So from behind, you'll hear a sloshing noise as someone approaches from behind on the girl's side, and a tall woman, a human woman with her hair tied up in a bun, wearing like a bathing suit with a little bow tie on, will approach carrying a tray of drinks.
Oh,
Ladies, refreshments.
Yes,
oh
please.
thank you.
Enjoying the show?
Yes.
Well, when our friends are willing to put it on.
Are you here for the medicinal pool as well?
The what? What?
Back when pardon me, it's been a long day. Back when the Gladrith spas were first founded, the volcanic activity at the highest point has strange, and sometimes people call it magical, healing properties. It's been closed down for repairs recently, but it should be opening tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's
Thank you.
lucky for us. How long has it been closed for?
Since last winter, unfortunately, it's not for everyone. The temperature is quite hot, and if you go there alone, like a couple of our patrons did, you should only go when it's being supervised. It's very easy to faint. And a pair of guests, unfortunately, went after hours and expired.
I understand.
But we're making sure to have additional hands on.
Okay. Oh, it's like you said, they went after hours when it wasn't supervised.
So this is fresh melon juice. I have both watermelon and honeydew.
Honeydew.
And is there anything else that I can bring you here? There is a little shelf here that I can attach a table to. If you'd like some snacks, some roast
Please.
cheese. I have something even better than that.
Better than cheese?
Just a moment. And she will walk over to a large rock formation and will lift the rock. And you'll see that it's actually a false rock. And underneath it, smoke begins to pour out. And you'll see that it's actually lit from within by some underground volcanic, some type of like rock flow or something like that. Some coals, which she will stoke with a couple of pumps of a hidden lever. And there is a steel grate that has been blackened and burned atop of this. I'll be back in just a moment. She exits the pool. Meanwhile, on your side, a similarly dressed man will slosh into the water, bringing you some very lightly spiced alcohol.
I just imagine he's wearing like a Speedo and a...
Yep, basically. Basically dressed like a Chippendale.
Does he have a bow tie?
Yes.
He does have a bow tie, absolutely. It's a red one.
Nice.
Why? Of course it is.
What a stupid question.
Oh my god.
Zeno will more than happily take some alcohol.
Okay, and he will happily serve it. Would you like some food as well?
Yes, please.
I see that she's already gotten the barbecue working on that side, which means it should be fine on this one. He goes over, removes a rock on the opposite side of the barrier, and you'll see that there is a grate. I'll be right back with the meat.
Fantastic.
After a moment, the two of them return with fresh beef rouladen, like flat beef that's been rolled up almost like tortillas, a number of other things atop a wide silver tray. And as you look at it, you will see that it's covered with strips of meat, entrails, various parts of animals, as well as a thick, ropey material that Tia will immediately recognize as tongue.
Nice.
You'll see that there's heart and liver and all sorts of parts of animals on this tray, as well as just like the traditional, oh look, a part of a shoulder or something like that.
Oh my god, yes.
And she'll provide you with a set of long forks that are kind of about a foot long with tines on the end. Be very careful. The grate is very warm. Just put it directly on the mesh. And yes, you are enjoying Japanese style yakiniku.
Nice.
Oh, that's me hungry.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Eating.
We all need a vacation.
Me too.
Yes.
We should all do like
So bad.
another one of those dinners, like not the all-you-can-eat buffet one, but like go to the traditional restaurant.
We should
together.
all make a trip to Harrison Hot Springs in BC and just spend a weekend at the hot springs.
Yes.
That's
And
true.
roleplay in the hot springs.
Yes.
Oh my
Talk.
god.
All right.
Let's talk after this.
That's the next Patreon goal.
Send us to a hot spring.
Send us to a hot spring.
Please.
We promise we will.
Yes.
All right. So you have a delicious dinner, and after that you head over, and I guess it's more of a midday, like a dinner, right? A lunch dinner. You have a delightful massage, and each one of you is going to heal all stress.
Nice.
Wish I could have that in real life.
Right?
Right.
It's only momentary.
Your masseuse will dig an elbow into the deepest of your recesses.
No, like I have a friend that like is really good at doing that for my shoulders, and it's just like it'll click. And I'm like,
Now
oh,
hold
so I just
still. I'm going
felt
to
it.
pull up on your arm. And here we go.
Pop!
Oh my goodness.
Excellent. Excellent. You're getting so much more rotation out of your shoulder now. Look at this.
If only it was real life.
I mean, I'll crack your back after game if you want.
Yeah. I mean, I was just at Cairo yesterday, and I already
Yeah.
get lots of
I was
cracks
supposed
again.
to go see my RMT tomorrow, but I have no money.
You should come with me to the gym because I popped my back a dozen times today just doing chest press.
I don't know if that's good.
No, it's great.
Pegfly does that to me when
That-
you do it in the reverse.
When you
It's just
do
like,
it the full distance because you try to touch the floor. Wow, I can actually make that do the thing. Okay, anyway, back to game because this is our vacation episode.
Yeah.
So you
we
have
did it.
you have a fantastic time just getting rubbed down, oiled. They scrape the oil off of you with these large spade-shaped bone, like scalpels almost, almost like honestly like car windshield scrapers. These wide, flat bones that they use to scrape the oil off your skin, taking that top layer off and leaving you shining. Farrah's going to avoid this one because getting rubbed by people kind of weirds her out, she'll say.
That's fair.
Cadamus is going to cuddle right into that, though. Oh, no, you need to dig deeper. Deeper. Deeper! That's the spot.
As an elbow goes into his lung.
It comes out his mouth.
Oh, and I could just imagine like laying in the bed after all this and just like laying there.
And that's not all, because this is a spa service. They're going to go through each one of you, and they're going to ask whether or not, first off, you'd like to have any of your armor or items laundered.
Yes, always yes.
So, and they can do any mending on them as well.
always
yeah.
yes.
Okay. So going through the list, they are going to ask first, Malia, do you want anything done with your hair?
Yes.
Cut, styled, trimmed?
Cleaned and trimmed.
All right. Tia, does Tia want anything done with her hair?
This is important for me too,
Do you have any? Do you have any part of a tusk?
because I'm drawing it.
All right. If you want to have anything done with your hair, you can. You can also. All of you are offered hairstyle treatment, dyeing, nails.
She's gonna
Teeth
braids,
cleaning.
Some of her braids redone.
Teeth.
Sure. Yeah.
She's gonna get like just everything just
Like
tidied
offered.
and
The same with you if you want your hair trimmed or just kind of a little like combed and oiled. Cadamus is going to have the full treatment done to his beard They're going to have it like done in all of these little like they're going to be like combing through it like 3 of them at a time, and you're going to see this giant muscly dwarf splayed out with those dividers between his toes, getting his toes like pettied.
Yes, full mani-pedi.
This is nice.
This is nice. I like this.
Yep.
I would imagine like Mars would have her hair cut up a lot from being singed and pulled, and like
Your hair is actually surprisingly resistant to singeing, but not from lightning singeing.
yeah, but like just the amount of time that they've been in battles and stuff. I imagine it's very ratty and maybe like uneven as well. So it's gonna get cut like up
Okay.
shorter.
However you want it cut, it is cut.
And then it's a little different than everyone else's hairs for the drawings.
It's true.
Everyone has braids and curly hair.
I mean, Xeno's isn't curly. It's just super long. He has like 2 braids to come down. That's it.
Xeno's blonde, right?
Xeno's blonde.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's
so he's
funny 'cause I was
Legolas
looking at the
guy.
reference
Yeah.
pictures. I'm like, there's 2 very different pictures here for him. And I was like, what am I supposed to do?
All right. And as you are relaxing at the end of the night, dinner comes by and they ask which show you'd like to see. Would you like to go see the live musical or this projected performance?
I'm going to see the musical.
Yeah, I'm seeing.
Yeah.
We were there for that. I
mean,
want to see it.
we made the Goblin Queen projection.
We
I
did.
know,
Yeah.
Don't need to remember that.
Yeah.
As you're walking down the hall, you'll hear in the distance, "Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Maximilian's Dramatic Recreations. The eye of Maximilian displays the truth of the horror that is the Goblin Queen. Hold on to your hats and your mortal souls." You'll hear Maximilian's voice echoing with a different thing than you've heard recently. It appears that he's on site.
Oh.
And you're going to hightail into the other thing?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, I wasn't even around for when you guys did that, so.
That sounds fun.
Mars is the Goblin Queen.
Farrah's going to go into that room.
I was the Goblin Queen.
Meanwhile, the rest of you end up at a live stage production that's also part luau. They have a huge buffet with a stuffed auroch
Oh, okay,
on the center area with a giant, not an apple, what am I thinking? A cassava melon stuck in its mouth. Because an auroch is basically like a giant roided out piece of cattle. Like it's like a super cattle, so here, I'll show you a picture. But basically they have one of those almost like a pig at a luau.
Right.
Wild.
Neat. More food.
More food is best food.
Mars can eat forever.
So an auroch is one of these guys.
Oh, okay, super cattle.
Super cows, basically. Like what's I think Texas Longhorns are probably related to them.
Make
Oh, okay.
enough.
They are made of meat. But there's one on the table, and as you approach, the workers will smile at you and ask what you'd like. And as you approach, they'll also say that the oysters are still available.
Oysters. I've never tried oysters before.
They're not that great.
Don't bother.
A different kind of oyster.
What?
They'll smile, and the giant auroch, one of them will be standing with a knife and serving fork right between the auroch's back legs.
Prairie oysters.
Oh! Oh, I get it. No, thank you.
It's a delicacy in some countries.
Oh,
No,
true.
thanks. Nope. Nope. I'm good. I'm good.
I've also seen it on Fear Factor back in the
True.
day.
That's true. On Fear
Forgot
Factor.
about that entirely.
What is this Fear Factor?
Challenge.
Yeah.
Small town villages have such strange customs. Here, a steak, and
Hungry.
oh, all right. And with that, you will be served your food, a huge amount of drinks because you've been given those bracelets that allow you to have unlimited refills. And as you watch, you will see a very over-the-top, cheesy version of what occurred in Ballyhut. Alas, I am Draco, and my face is Faco. For my beauty I shall mourn, for I have been cursed with horns! Dun 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 dun.
Malia will lean into like Tia and just start laughing quietly. She won't disturb it, but she's just giggling away.
This is amazing.
Good job, Sokka.
I think for a change, Malia actually has her hair loose.
So,
No,
would you tempt your fate?
no.
It's nice ringlets, curly.
I think so, but really thick.
Okay.
Because she's got a long. She generally has it braided and like piled up into the back of her head to fit under a helmet. But now it's like it probably goes down to like her butt almost.
So it's more like braided wavy and the little
Yeah.
bit of curl, like the natural part.
Yeah.
Butt length hair club.
Alright, so you're watching this show, and it is farcical.
Just the way the musical should be.
Farrah's going to lean in and say, I don't remember it like... Wait, no, Farrah's not there. Never mind.
Farrah?
Farrah went to the other room.
Yeah.
Oh,
Cadamus is going to lean in and say,
I was like, Farrah was there with us. We named
kind
the
of-
band after her.
I kind of like this.
Yeah.
It's catchy.
Yeah.
Have horns. Hey, this is like your song.
It is my song.
He was a lot wimpier in person.
He was.
It's
Yeah.
true. He was cowering in a corner when we found him.
Very
Yeah.
true.
And crying.
Yeah.
Do
Do they do the spider fight?
They do the spider fight after a fashion, but then they have to introduce. So, as you're watching this show, a hulking man with a long red beard walks out. Hark! I hear there's trouble there. Come, my friends. We, the Dragonettes, will stop this.
Oh no.
I am Malek Starswarm, and I am here on a mission from the goddess Vela.
Oh my god, it's like a nail you.
Me help too. Someone with fake orc tusks stumbles out. It
Hey.
is I. And you see the actor straightens up and a melon falls out of a bra. He quickly stuffs it back in. It's me. Strong arm Tia. I here punt things and make the good druids. And then
That's not accurate at all.
Yes, and I will come from the shadows and protect you. Something with like little devil horns sneaks out. Like it's like a halfling dressed like a devil.
See, that's
Seems
adorable.
I love it.
Seems legit. Yep.
Bravo.
And then
Your
you'll
portrayal
hear,
at least looks
and
like
fear
really
not, friends. As suddenly you'll see something jump and pirouette in like a full split ballet dance into frame, spins
Also
around
legit.
and fires
Also
an
accurate.
arrow straight into the air.
I
I
have something to show you.
How much of an
am
audience is there?
Zero Wrongwing.
How much of an audience is there?
It's actually about half full.
Yeah, is it dark? Or
It's dark, but the stage is very well lit, so it's dim light in the audience, and you have dark vision.
I'm gonna catcall from the back. I thought Starsworn had tits.
He will smile and flex his mighty chest muscles at the audience. And then you will see a and where, Zero Wrongwing says, is our last party member?
Totally legit.
Girl!
And I swear to God, a kobold dressed in a blue dress is going to stumble on stage.
And it's just like a little like 3-4 foot.
3 foot tall dragonoid kobold.
Good thing Farrah didn't come to this one.
Yeah, that would have.
I'll hear and do the big magics. Zip, zip, zip. Zippity zip. Oh.
I am the wizard, and I make the boomies.
Oh no.
Make the boomies!
And the kobold will like thrust his staff forward, once again knocking one of Armstrong Tia's boobs out. And the production will continue.
Malia is just gonna die
Yeah.
laughing and not restrain it at all.
Okay. It is going to be an amazing show in spite of its inaccuracies.
Because of its inaccuracies?
How does
And
everyone portray the half-orcs as...
That's okay. We know the truth.
And you were going to have a fantastic night. As you are wandering back from the production, Farah is going to bump into you in the hallway, a big bag of popcorn in her hand.
Was it fun? I'm gonna look at her and go, just turn to Tia and go, zip zip.
Make the boomies, Farah. Make the boomies.
Malia's just gonna kill herself laughing again.
And at that point, I'm just gonna pirouette. Make the boomies! Come on, make the boomies! It's okay. Where's our party member?
What the hell are you talking about?
Nothing. You missed nothing.
You
They
missed
lost their minds.
an amazing performance, and they made fun of all of us. It was great.
It was horrendously inaccurate.
It was.
Well, you're all really easy to make fun of, so that makes sense.
Oh, you
Right?
too.
They had a kobold
What?
play you.
Yeah, they had a kobold play you. It was hilarious.
They
I'm
portrayed
apparently
me with
male.
Tusks.
And
And-
melons for boobs.
And
melons.
boobs that fall off.
Well, that's not as much of an issue.
I'm apparently
I
a
like tusks.
tall male, according
I'm
to them.
Stupid.
A kobold. Her voice drops deep for a second. A kobold.
Yep.
Yeah.
Making the boomies.
I don't think they had anything else at all draconic. I'm a male, apparently. A large, very large male.
I'm very proud of you. At least you're not a kobold.
At least you're not a very dumb orc.
It was a kobold in a blue dress.
So anyway, you missed nothing.
You missed an amazing performance. It was
I
hilarious.
already saw an amazing performance of yours.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
Yasin?
Yeah, that was one of our early misadventures.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry I missed it.
I think that was, what, a few weeks before we found you?
Something like that. It was really early on.
Yeah.
And one of our first things when we went out on that adventure.
Oh.
After we'd met up, yeah.
Yeah. It goes way back.
That was funny.
Oh, that was such a good time.
Well, I guess.
I enjoyed watching their version of Xeno pirouette and stag leap across the stage.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Okay.
He
Yeah,
was
that was
so
pretty funny.
just...
You'll hear footsteps come from down the hall. And one of the counter attendants that you saw earlier, one of the people who was supervising the floor, is going to approach. Hello. I'm terribly sorry to disturb you while you're relaxing. But you folk, I couldn't help but overhear you talking.
We were pretty loud.
Yeah.
My name's Tito, and I'm the floor manager for the night shift.
Mm-hmm.
Spit it out, man.
You're adventurers, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was wondering if you could help with a minor inconvenience we're having.
Sure.
What is it?
We were trying to open the magic healing
Yes.
pool.
Yes.
Yeah, we heard that.
What's in there?
Has something taken up living space?
I believe it's haunted.
Ah,
Oh,
okay.
All right.
That's
One of
different.
our workers was just attacked.
how
How?
bad?
Yeah, they'll
What
live.
sort of injuries?
Ooh.
He was thrown around through some of the wood at the back.
Okay, so just physical, thrown around, no cuts.
Well, he
scrapes
was
from-
Bob, the fearbog.
Oh.
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 Bob.
He is so quite strong.
That's significant.
So it's big.
Is he unconscious?
Or maybe it might have been one.
Yes. He'll be fine. They heal really quickly.
Was it gonna manifest?
I was hoping that you could go and take care of it. We would be, of course, able to comp your stay for the night.
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah, well,
Or for an additional night if you'd prefer.
Sure.
I wouldn't mind an additional
Alright.
night.
Let's go take a look.
Let's just go grab our gear then, I guess.
Is he
Yeah.
awake or is he unconscious right now?
He's unconscious in our medical tent.
Alright, time to go
We'll just go
suit
grab
up.
our equipment. And then can someone show us the way up there?
I'll wait for you out here.
Fantastic.
Mally's gonna walk away braiding her hair into
Yep.
whatever system she has.
I thought we were going to get a night off.
Yeah, us
Well,
too.
We're heroes. We don't get a night off. But we do get a free night.
I'm gonna go see if I can heal Bob enough to wake him up. So we
Okay.
can maybe get
Some more
whatever
information.
impression he has of what it was.
Okay.
And I'll have to go get like my armor and stuff because that was being cared for.
In fact,
Actually, it's going to be waiting on your bed by this point. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's been about 6 hours.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so it's all
Yeah.
back. Okay, so get
Put
suited
the
up.
armor on, put the bow on.
So everybody
grab-
goes and gets ready.
Yeah.
You will be brought over to the tent, and as you are, you'll see that the furbog is laying on a pair of stretchers that have been laid together to cover his girth. His feet are still dangling off enough that the knees are bent and his feet are touching the ground. You can see that a little gnomish attendant has a rag on his head. And he looks quite bruised. His cheeks are very swollen. His eye is swollen shut on one side.
so he looks like he's been beat, but he hasn't actually been like clawed or anything like that.
No, it doesn't look like it. There's a large bucket of a mixture of spittle, bile, and saliva, and a little bit of vomit next to the bed. Probably from, it looks like he inhaled a lot of water.
That's not good.
Ow. Do you want to give me a medicine check? Do not need these tonight.
Watch it and accidentally punch her in the face.
Nope, these dice seem to be liking me right now.
That's nice.
These are my new ones.
I like them. I like the green.
26.
26.
Well, medicine's a proficiency one.
So the attendant has done fairly well and has rolled him on his side in the recovery position. But as you give him a little clap on the back and check him, he is going to cough. And as he does so, he is going to vomit more water into the bin. And as he does, you roll me a d4.
4.
Cool. As he does so, you are going to see that he is a massive head, probably about the size of your entire stomach. And as he does so, a large gold ring is going to clatter into the bucket that he vomits up from where he had inhaled it.
Oh.
Huh. What's that?
As you pick it up, it has a strange sigil on it. Make me a history roll.
17.
17? Alright. So, looking at it, you can see that this is... looks like a... it has a strange picture of a skull. A skull atop of a wave. This is a pirate insignia from the Finger Isles.
That's odd.
You couldn't remember the exact pirate's name, but you've seen this before.
Does it have any legends attached to it?
Can I roll for it, being
Are you in the medical tent?
family? Yeah, I am. I'm
Oh,
with them.
you followed it as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, you may.
Do I get advantage on that because it's merchant by the sea, dealing with pirates? Before?
I'll allow that, yeah.
Okay. And now it's history.
Yes, it is.
19.
19. So, just one moment. So, as you're looking at it, Brown teeth. That's Brown Teeth. Or Teeth. That's the pirate known as Brown Teeth. A massive, terrifying legend of this dwarf that used a mixture of wood and bronze teeth to replace ones that had been knocked out in fights. And Brown Teeth was a scourge of the seas for quite a while. And actually, given that it's dwarven, you would recognize that after a fashion as well. As soon as he points it out, you'll say, "Oh yeah, but he died like before you were born." Mm-hmm. This potentially could have been passed down to his descendants, which he was quite a prolific descendant creator. But Brown Teeth the pirate has been dead for at least 200 years.
Huh.
Still, it's a burnished or like a very tarnished gold ring. Well, the parts that aren't gold are very like covered in just gunk. This could be cleaned up and worn. It seems like a strange place for it to end up, though.
Yeah.
You know, in a furbolg's lung. That's pretty weird. All right. Do the rest of you assemble in the tent as well?
Yeah.
Eventually, yeah.
Okay.
Before we do anything more, though, I would like to take a bathroom break.
Yeah. We're on the way.
Okay, cool.
So his eyes will open. He'll give you a weak smile. A little thumbs up and will faint again. Tito will arrive with the rest of your party. Are you good to go?
I think so.
Well, then, please then, this way. And he leads you off to the magical bath area. And with that, we're going to take a couple-minute break just to go to the washroom. We'll see you again in a minute. Where's the button? It's right here. And we're back. All right, and I'm just going to do a quick audio test to make sure that we're good on you guys.
I could summon 8 camels.
I'll be back in just 1 second.
Not useful right now, I don't think.
All right, I can hear the 8 camels. We're good. Okay, so welcome back to Generic Fantasy Setting number 17735, Season 2, Episode 11, The Great Escape, because this has been a nice spa vacation. I was very close to calling this the Soft Touch Spa. I changed my mind.
Probably for the best.
All right, so with that, you all are going to be led out by Tito, the night manager. I'm going to write that down.
That's quite a night manager name.
Yeah.
Tito.
Who is a brown-haired human with a slight tan to his skin, as befitting someone named Tito. Which... this thing. Okay, cool. And he's going to lead you up a series of winding footpaths that will lead up to the top hill of this spa region. And the dog sighed very dramatically. Dog sighs are the cutest.
It was very dramatic.
Kelly, you're stalling because you're trying to remember what it looks like in your mind. It's true, dog. It's true. So as you head up, you'll see that there is a final highest region, and it is encased in those wooden planks as well. A nice thick fence that's been built around that has been exploded through by the shape of a firbolg. Roughly the shape and size, not like left like a hole in it. But on the other side, you will hear the sound of running water and bubbles from beneath. How long has this been closed down? Farah will ask. About,
Since the last
Winter, I think somebody told
since
us.
last winter.
This is the first instance that there's been anything seen in the pool.
Well, we normally close down for repairs over summer. People don't like to come when it's that hot out, usually. It gets incredibly hot around here. And the medicinal pools actually grew strangely hot during the summer. Very, very hot.
And no accounts of strange noises or anything.
It's normally very... I mean, as you can hear, it's quite noisy right now. Not particularly.
Okay.
When did it start getting strange? The temperature? The middle of summer, about 4 months ago?
What are you thinking, Farah?
Was it near when the earthquakes happened? Yeah, actually, I believe that some of our engineers were thinking that might have caused the additional heat, some shift in the topography underground from the earthquakes. Luckily, I've heard that other places in the region that also have a similar hot spring themed business have had to shut down because of the steam vents being rerouted. I mean, hell, it blew another town completely out of the water. They're off the map. The steam vents were rerouted by the earthquakes. It nearby
Destroyed an entire town?
it was a hamlet, but,
Still.
a couple farmhouses.
That's concerning.
Let's keep going. He'll lead you up and then stop at the edge. Good luck.
Do I know of anything that might really enjoy this sort of thing? Live in hot water, etc.?
Anybody here can make me a nature roll.
I'm gonna do that.
I'm gonna do that as well, actually.
With my newly proficient skill.
Nice.
Oh, you took nature as a proficiency?
Yes.
Nice.
Well, because it's between it and Arcana that I end up rolling
Nat
all
20.
the time.
Nice. Yay.
So Tia will immediately think that something did physical attack in the water. And there are a couple of things, but that speaks to one particular type of creature. You're thinking elementals. Potentially ghosts as well.
I rolled a 20. Well, I got 22 on mine.
You're
Maybe
thinking
ghosts.
elementals or ghosts.
Yeah.
But given the type of damage that he took, probably not a ghost. Elementals are much more prone to drowning people and things.
Yeah.
But it could be something even weirder.
I'm like, I think it's because I got an 11.
I got 7. I don't know.
You don't know. It's fine.
I don't know.
I'm like, you know what? I'm too relaxed.
Farrah got
for
a
this.
4, so that's pretty good.
But yeah, mine total was 24.
Dang.
Nice.
Well, that's a good roll.
Yeah. Then that 20 plus the plus 4 nature.
Not
Nice.
nice.
You'd think as a
Yeah,
ranger
I'm
I'd have
gonna roll.
higher than I'd have higher nature, but I don't.
As you enter the main compound of the healing spring, there are a set of stone steps that have been hammered into the side of the rock formation here. One set of stairs that goes to the left and to the right. They form a diamond around a number of bonsai-style short trees that have been beautifully manicured into various shapes. One looks like a gazelle leaping. Another looks like an outstretched hand reaching up toward the sky. All around you are natural shrub formations that seem resistant to this type of temperature and heat, but even they are starting to become browned and brittle at the edges as their needles are being caustically burnt by this steam. You'll see that nature has tried to adapt and has been found slightly wanting here.
It tried.
Yeah, I tried. How do you progress?
So how hot is it in here right now?
So it's open air, so it's pretty good, but I would say it's enough that as soon as you walk inside of the confines of the fences, the heat radiating off the gravel is enough to make you break a sweat in your armor as soon as you step in. It's like stepping into a sauna, even outdoors here. It's almost like there's a bubble of steam inside of this enclosure, or inside of this area, even though it's taller and above everything else.
Right. So, I'm thinking elemental.
Yeah.
So,
Can we see any damage that was done while Bob was being thrashed about?
You can actually, as you're stepping inside, your vision is going to be obscured down to 15 feet.
Oof.
The amount of steam in the air
Oof.
makes it very difficult to see through.
So that might be something to be careful about.
La da dee, la da da, la da dee, la da da. You'll hear echo across the pool. La da dee, la da da, la da dee.
Can I try to sneak up to the pool?
You can try, yeah. Why don't you go ahead and give me a stealth roll?
Cool. And do I get advantage because of most of the steam?
Sure.
32.
What did you roll?
19.
So Mar steps forward and vanishes into the steam cloud. But in the distance, you can hear something is in the mist with her. What do the rest of you do?
I'm gonna move forward after Mars.
Also go stealthy.
Yeah, also stealthy.
I'm
As-
hovering back, inspecting things.
As you creep forward, there are two ways to go, Mars. You could head up the stairs to the left or the right. It looks like they will eventually cross back over each other in a moment.
Does it sound like the sound that's kind of echoing through is like straight up, so it doesn't matter, or does it go up more one side?
You're not sure. Definitely up, though.
I'll go up the left side.
The steam vents burst around you, and you can actually feel some of your clothing and your hair plastered to the side of your face as you creep. Zeno, you have no idea where Marisol is. Mars is just gone completely invisible in the steam. And a gout of steam is going to go in front of you as well. You can go to the left or to the right.
You went to the left?
Yeah,
You
but
don't know which way
that.
she went. Left or right?
Left or right? I go to the right.
And you went to the left, right?
Yes.
Left, right, left. There's none of the enemy left, right?
Do you want me to make a stealth roll?
If you're trying to be stealthy, yeah.
Stealthy.
29.
29. All right, you will sneak up to the right. And now, Mars, there's two ways as you crest the rise atop of these stairwells. You can see that this spa actually, the pools here extend out in an oblong shape, kind of like a pinwheel. These little, barely connected streams on the outside, like lazy Susans.
I can see
Or like
that
lazy rivers.
because of the.
You're actually going to be right up next to one.
Okay.
You'll see that there's a stream about 5 feet across right in front of you. To your right, there is a small bridge that arcs over. You can take the bridge, or you can just leap over the water.
bridge.
Okay. Crossing over the bridge. I would like you to make me another stealth roll, please. You do not have advantage on this because as you step on the bridge, it's going to creak beneath your feet.
28.
28. And you will delicately pass over the bridge. Barely leaving a sound, though. And as you do, you will hear this sound beneath you. This kind of slurping. As the water sloshes. It doesn't sound that unusual, but it's like a tide hitting the water beneath the bridge. Just a slosh, slosh, slosh. But there should be nothing aside from the steam vents and bubbles that can make water move that freely. It seems strange to you. Zeno, you come to the bridge and the stream as well. What do you do?
And I can jump in and take the bridge?
Yes.
You know what? I'm actually going to do something a bit different.
Sure, yeah, let me know.
I'm going to use conjure animals.
Okay.
And I am going to conjure me...
An alligator.
Swim in the water.
A blue whale, and I walk across it.
Close. I'm going to summon me a crocodile.
It's like a gator?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like... Well, I mean, I could summon a giant crocodile.
Do you have a name for this crocodile?
this?
Snippy? Snappy? Dundee?
Let's go with Dundee.
Alright, so...
I mean, I could summon 4 of them, but I think I'm...
Just gonna summon one?
I'll summon 2. I'll
So
summon...
Dun and D?
Yeah, I'll summon Dun and D.
Alright, so you summon these crocodiles into being in front of you. In the water? Or...
One in the water and one on land.
Okay, so one of them appears next to you on the land or on the other side?
On the other side.
Okay, one of them appears on the other side, snaps its jaws a couple of times, turns and looks around. The other one appears in the water, and...
Uh-oh.
I want to see what happens with something in the water.
Cool. How many hit points does this thing have?
It has... it says 19, or 3d10 plus 3. So...
You take the average when you summon...
Okay, yeah.
So that's 19. You are going to summon into the water, and the crocodile is going to snap its jaws once, and you are going to see the very faintest specter of a... It's almost impossible to see, but it's like the water itself reaches out and wraps around its tail, and there is going to be a sudden wrench, and above you, the rest of you, what are you doing?
I'm kind of waiting to see what happens.
Okay. So you can only see about 15 feet ahead of you. So
I'm waiting to hear what happens.
You will suddenly hear the sound of a body being slammed against stone and wood. And there will be the ripping sound of scale and flesh. And a reptilian head is going to collapse at the ground near you as the crocodile's head is launched 40 feet. It is going to explode out of existence.
Okay!
A crocodile head hits the ground in front of you with a slam, rolls. The jaws are going to snap once in your direction, and then it's going to fade out of existence.
Huh.
That's a little weird.
The other one's going to look down at the water and look up at you.
Like, I don't want to go swimming.
Now, I can't make a shot at it, because that's a full action. I can't make a shot 2 with that.
Not this round, no.
Okay.
What do you do? Because you're on the other side of the bridge, and you just saw an alligator appear to the right of you.
And then now it's super dead.
One of them. The other
One of
one's
them's
the other one's on the shoulder of the water, looking across the bridge at something and just going.
Bro.
Doesn't want to go.
You've never seen an alligator or a crocodile look perturbed before, but he's very much like.
What do you want me to do?
How long is the bridge?
The bridge is 10 feet.
And how far would you say I've gotten?
You're across you're on the other side now.
Okay, yeah, so I'll turn around and just kind of like watch for the water and like see what it's doing, or like if it notices me or tries to do anything strange. Because yeah.
Can I get both of you to make me a perception roll, since you're actively looking for this?
Now I can.
Yes, you can. I wish you the best of luck.
Oh my god.
9.
What'd you get?
1.
You can't see whatever's in the water.
I'm not using my inspiration, but...
You can't see what's in the water, but you can hear that.
It just looks like water.
Yeah, it sounds like this.
Ew.
It's just the sound of water.
Is there anything different inside the water, like some sort of weird mass or whatever? Like,
No.
Was that something singing earlier?
Yes.
yeah.
And in the distance, you can hear something singing at the center of where you imagine the main pool is.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ah.
Just don't go for that high note.
Something sings with a moaning scream in the distance. The rest of you back at the front, what do you do?
Can I do an insight check on what seems like a good idea at this point?
Sure.
We'll see what happens when I roll. Because as a player, I'm not sure.
And this is all set up from us?
Yes. So basically think it's on a hill with like garden stairwells leading up to it.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a 19. So
I mean, honestly, elementals aren't impossible to defeat.
yeah, I just don't know if I've
Okay.
encountered them before.
I'm gonna climb the stairs.
Would I?
They're very hard to negotiate with unless you have spells that allow you to do that. Malia takes the
Would we know if they're like intelligent? Like
Not-
fairly intelligent?
water elementals, or just elementals in general are pretty dumb.
Yeah,
They're
like
very
what-
they're like animals.
Yeah, like what
almost.
seems like a good way to deal with an elemental based on what I would know? Do you want me to?
I mean,
Opposite elements?
fire is not good against them.
No, good.
Water defeats fire.
Lightning, on the other hand?
Lightning would do damage to it. Probably earth
Earth
as well because
Okay.
it absorbs water.
Yeah.
Freeze it.
For example, erupting earth, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. But I would also suggest with that 19 in insight, maybe try not to damage the spa. But if you gotta,
True. That's true.
Oh, so they won't be able to open for another year again.
Would.
and can I? Let's see. Who has a perception of 18 or above? Perfect. In the distance, you're going to hear the sound of wood breaking. Far away, actually, the opposite direction, toward the front door. It just echoes over and up from the main doors of this spa,
So it's back the way that
Oh, shit.
back from the front gate.
So it's close to you guys?
This is like at the very front of the entire establishment,
You know where we came in?
like
originally.
where you bought your
Oh.
tickets.
I don't think I
Okay.
heard that. So
I-
17.
This is a bare sound, just the sound of splintering wood and the sound of a couple of shouts.
Shit.
Up ahead, you hear sloshing, and do you progress? Farah is going to look at you for some advice.
I mean,
So, I can hear that singing as well.
All of
Does
you
it
can.
sound like a real voice? Like a humanoid voice? Or...
It sounds feminine, actually.
Or is it more like mimicky?
It's hard to tell, actually.
I'm gonna call out and just be like, hello? I'm gonna stay well back from the water's edge, though, as much as I can.
I'm gonna cast.
Okay.
Actually, nah, because we're not seemingly being particularly stealthy.
So are you walking up the stairs toward the stream?
Yes.
Okay, so you will approach the stream and be standing there at the stream next to the bridge. And you can see that on the other side
Like,
of
I'm gonna try not to be standing right on the edge or anything. I'm gonna try and be back enough I can see.
Can I get everyone who can hear the music to make me an insight roll? You can either use insight actually, or you can use, I'll say, history.
Okay, I'm gonna go with insight.
Okay.
That's unnatural 20 for me.
Perfect.
21 for
Um,
history.
24.
Fantastic. All of you will recognize all of you who get would you get Xenos?
10.
Okay, so you recognize that it's actually a language, but not one you recognize. All of us, including Catamus, are going to catch. You're going to catch what language this is. This is Aquan.
Aqua?
Aquan, the language of aquatic creatures.
Huh.
It's a very like. It almost has like a slightly Gaelic flowing lilt to it.
Oh, that's pretty.
Does anyone here speak Aquan?
Can a crocodile speak awkward?
No.
That'd be hilarious.
Do any of you speak Aquan?
No.
Do any of you want to?
That would be kind of cool.
Sure.
Okay, well, who wants to be the negotiator?
Not me.
I mean,
But remember, we have the.
Ah!
Oh, hi.
You come out of nowhere on the other side of the bridge.
But remember, we also have that advantage on charisma check too.
oh, that's
Yes,
right.
but I also have a -2 to it.
Oh
That's
heck!
fair.
Second cat, I know
I
tongues.
Okay.
I can speak anything. I can teach you to speak anything too, Farah says.
Okay. Okay.
Probably shouldn't
yeah.
be me.
Okay, and you?
Yes.
Okay, hold still, and she'll cast the spell and use a spell point to twin spell. And both of us will gain the ability to speak Aquan. And you will hear this kind of sing-song voice that calls in this very feminine lilt. Come to me. Come to me, little playthings, and see. I've left presents, I've left friends, I've left your watery end. Make a tithe, say hello, pay me enough, I might go. Can you hear me, friends? Can you hear me?
Okay. And it's like doing that over and over.
Yeah. Yeah. Which sounds much better than when I do it, but you get the idea. It rhymes in Aquan, doesn't rhyme necessarily in normal language. Well, it still has that kind of rhythm, but...
Yes. Okay.
So up ahead, you can hear... The crocodile looks up at Zeno and... What do, friend? Kind of looks at you with that, what do, friend? Looks down at the water and... Snap, snap.
Well, it's game club.
Scaly puppy, yeah, pretty much. Oh, we haven't done initiative, have we?
No, you guys haven't gotten into a
Haven't had
fight?
to yet.
Oh, okay.
No. Alright, I'll call back. I hear your song. Let us meet.
Ah, Tralasana. Ah, come to the pool.
I
Get
can't
past-
swim.
Get past my pets.
What?
Are you here to make an offering?
An offering to who?
To me. Come closer.
I can't see you.
Come closer and you will.
I can't come into the water though. You're
Of
too
course.
far out. There's too much steam.
Come closer, the water is fine.
What's she saying? What's it saying?
Wants to come closer to the water.
That seems like a bad idea.
You're not wrong.
What does it want? Does it say?
Did you guys translate the rest of the song for us?
Yeah. Blah. In like a rough summary.
I would like all of you to make me a knowledge, a nature or arcana roll.
It's the same for me either way. 19.
It's a 14.
20. Unnatural.
Either way.
Whatever it is, it seems to want a tithe,
A tithe.
22 for either.
a present, an offering. Something is very sentient about this, and it seems very clever, which is not making you think of an elemental. Something that speaks Aquan, can command elementals. This is...
What? Demigod?
What? No. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, someone
Someone got a 19?
19.
19 to 22?
20.
And 20? You're thinking... So it's fair, actually. She got a 24. You're thinking this might be a Marid. Oh, an aquatic djinn.
Can they say, does one of you say that?
Ugh.
What you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not what I imagined.
Yeah.
It's a fish genie.
Does that ring any bells?
Marid are large elementals. They're usually chaotic neutral. They are very arrogant
very prideful, and usually about 5.5 meters tall.
That's big.
They are beautiful genies.
Oh.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Um,
But this one sounded female?
this sounds female, and what you've also read about them is that their skin changes color to match their moods.
Oh.
And they're from the elemental plane of water.
Oh.
They're very proud, very independent, and that they are the best of all of the genie.
That's what they think or they are.
Depends who you're asking.
Just checking.
Remember, arrogant.
If you got, those of you who got 19 plus, their favorite thing is flattery.
Okay.
They're also fairly tough, but with 6 of you, you think you could. It would be a tough fight, but you could do it.
Okay.
But
Maybe
probably
we can talk our way out of it.
we could convince it maybe to move on if this place is too lowly and
Yeah.
Sure.
not fancy enough for them, sort of thing, potentially.
What sort of tithe would it want?
I guess we'll ask.
But anyways, all that we kind of huddle up and
Yeah.
My crocodile
suggestion.
Snap, snap.
Tia. Oh.
All right. So, what do you all do now that you're gathered together again?
I mean, so like what?
So we have to
Can
get
you
to the
ask
pool.
what tithe it wants? Like, I don't.
I mean, either way,
not
we
my
should probably
dog
take care of this fairly quickly so we can go
I'm
check
not-
out what's happening down there.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, there's something happening down at the front entrance.
I think that's its pet.
Oh, I didn't.
Oh yeah. Oh
didn't
no, I think I
notice.
meant down by the river.
Oh, yeah, no, down by where we got our entrance.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there was someone breaking some wood. There was some screaming down there. I heard. So
I didn't even catch that. Okay.
it was pretty faint.
All right.
Can
Are you coming or not? You'll hear in Aquan.
I have,
I have rope.
yeah, you have rope.
I'll tie rope around me and I'll try going to the water.
I'll go with you.
Do you
Farrah
have to
hops
go in the water to get to the pool, or?
Yeah.
So basically, it's in the center of whatever this main spring is.
Okay. If I start tugging on it or you hear anything, just do your best.
And with
Okay.
that, you will vanish behind the steam.
How much is the steam muffling the sound?
The sound, not at all. The sight is limited to 15 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can
Yeah,
hear it
okay.
and stuff.
That's
All
good.
right.
Are you?
Unfortunately, we don't have steam sight.
So as you head in, you will see that
Is the water still like very warm?
it's very warm, but you are resistant to heat. And so is Farrah, actually. So that's great. So as you head into the pool, you will slowly make your way forward. And on one of the central rocks of... It's basically, it's this large pool with a central rock outcropping. And as you approach, you will see
Okay, that's better.
a beautiful woman with green blue skin and large baggy pants, bare feet, and kind of a bikini top made of seashells.
And she's like sitting on a rock.
She's like sprawling on the rock like sex poured into a glass.
Oh heck.
And she will look up through her flowing, literally flowing hair. Every part of her looks like it's made of water. And she will tap her fingernails on the rock. Ooh.
Oh my, you're gorgeous.
You're not half bad yourself.
Thank you. I usually get the opposite. Encountering people.
Well.
Do you mind? And I'll like kind of put my hands on the rock but like not get out.
So long as you keep your place.
Sure.
Who am I speaking with?
My name is Mars.
Farrah. I'm Farrah. Farrah. Obviously caught off guard by my beauty.
You were talking about a tithe?
You wish to give an offering?
If I have something worthy of offering to such a graceful, beautiful lady of the water.
Tell me a little bit more, please.
Make me a persuasion roll. You may do it with advantage on this one time. Do it.
That's a bit better than persuasion.
I think you're at a +7 for persuasion.
Mm-hmm. 19.
19? I've had the most dreadful time. She's going to lean down and kind of slink into like the crook of her arm and kind of like... A long time ago, I was living in this beautiful undersea palace that was raided by these horrible dwarven merchants. One of them had the audacity to seal me inside of a magic ring.
Oh. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
How
What
did
a
you get
bastard. Well, when he died,
out? Magic breaks.
his ship sunk right next to an aquatic vent. Eventually, I ended up here. I have no idea how. Sight and sound were very limited, but it feels like I was in there, and she will try to crack her neck, but it's not made of really tissue, so there's no real...
Like, may I?
You wish to touch me?
Yes. Unless, like, will that hurt me?
And she'll lift her neck and... What are you gonna give her a back rub?
Oh, I'm just gonna, like, feel like the masseuse did.
Her skin is actually very warm to the touch from being this close to the water, but it's like touching... It's touching the surface tension of water, but without breaking it. Like touching a
like
waterbed. It's like a firm waterbed.
Jellyfish.
Kind of, without the sting. Yeah, go ahead and make me... this is going to be just a dexterity roll.
Cool.
Not sleight of hand.
A sleight of hand. Yeah. This is going to be a sleight of hand roll.
Sleight of hand?
Yeah, I'm assuming sleight of hand is massage too now.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Why not?
Makes sense.
Sweet.
Steal those knots.
Can I spend an inspiration?
Yes, you may. Spend an inspiration to give the...
Don't you have a ridiculous bonus to sleight of hand?
Yeah, but, like, I only rolled a 2.
Oh, yeah, fair.
And then I rolled a 5. Okay. Well, that's 15 and then...
All right, no, this is fantastic. Can I spend my inspiration and get her to re-roll?
No, it's only one per roll.
Yeah.
But you
So,
can spend in the
18.
future for that. 18?
Yeah.
So you'll start actually working the kinks out of this marriage shoulder.
I had the most amazing massage earlier, so I'm trying to see if I can pick up on any of it. Your skin texture is a little bit different than I've ever seen before, but it's quite
That
nice.
is actually quite nice. Back at the water, however, that I am going to say that is a very good massage. And unfortunately, when you get a good massage, you start forgetting about things like psychic control over your water elementals. So Mars is diffusing the high challenge rating, but I want an initiative roll off everybody who's back at the bridge.
I have a new best
Rolling
friend.
16s.
Hey, 16!
Well, it's
Okay,
18 for me
so
right now.
so that's 18.
Nat 20, so
rolling
21.
16.
Okay, so Malia. And,
That's so funny. Like psychic control of your water elementals.
then it's going to be, so it goes Malia,
Oh, I
and
don't think I can
then
break this thing
I'm
very
at
easily, so...
Catamus,
Next
and
best.
then Tia,
For once, yeah.
and then
The-
Zeno. I rolled a 19 for Catamus, strangely.
Nice.
And then these guys are at, so then it's number 1,
Hiccup.
and number
Hiccups.
2, and your Croc acts at the same round as you, if I'm not mistaken, Zeno.
He actually gets his own initiative.
Oh, does he? Please roll for the crocodile.
No,
Um,
you did pretty good.
Crocodile.
I don't add anything to that though.
You add his dexterity.
I add his dex to that. Okay, so 18.
Okay, well, that means the crocodile's going to go with you at the same time then.
Okay.
Just for ease of operation.
Okay.
All right. So back at the water, Malia, you are going to notice that the water suddenly violently arcs up, and on either side of the bridge, water is going to surge up into the shape of a large humanoid, and is going to splash up and to kind of suddenly erupt, casting a shadow down over all of you. What do you do?
So they're coming up out of the streams, and these streams connect to the main pool?
Yes.
Fudge.
Dodge.
You can do a dodge action. You can attack one of them.
Well, because I just want to confirm, if I called lightning and hit them, would it travel back and hurt Mars in the pool?
Oh, probably.
Because it's only in a 5-foot area.
It conducts.
Not if... I would say...
If they're made of water.
Yes, probably, actually. That is the one downside with lightning. However, your hammer would do some things. You could also do... you could go forward and use your attack touch.
And Farah's still in the water too.
Farah's in the water with you. You're, because you have, not blight.
Oh, inflict wounds?
You could use inflict wounds on these things.
I have blight.
Yeah, but you're up. You have initiative.
Okay. And it's how far away from me?
It is 5 feet away from you. Basically,
Oh, so it's literally right in front of me.
It's right in front of all of you.
So I can just kind of go like that and
Yeah,
touch
you
it?
could.
Alright,
If you
well,
use-
sure, let's inflict wounds.
All right, so go ahead. Make me an attack roll. So basically, I'm assuming that there's like the stream that kind of meanders here. There's a bridge that cuts through it, and that a bunch of you were either on the bridge, across the bridge, like Xeno is, or no, Xeno's on this side of the bridge. His crocodile's on that side, and the rest of you are just kind of gathered around, like waiting to see what happens on the other side.
Okay.
And they have both come out of the water on either side of the bridge.
Okay. Melee spell attack. Where is my spell attack? That is going to be 26 to hit.
That is a definite hit.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll me damage. And I'm going to close the sexy married picture.
Because she is currently inebriated.
She is
26 damage.
26 damage?
Necrotic damage.
Necrotic. Oh, that is beautiful. All right, so 26. Okay, so let's just round up for that, because math. All right, so you're going to reach forward, and the water is going to steam off with necrotic energy as you touch your hand down on it, because that does necrotic, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to steam off in black smoke, and you're going to hear this of escaping steam come out of this creature. Catamus is going to go, "You don't have to tell me twice." Lean forward, and oh, this is so sad. He critted. And he is going to crit once with his axe, and
Then lose it immediately?
no. Well, so he's going to slash through it. And first hit's going to be solid and is going to disconnect a part of its frame, doing 4 points of damage total. And the next swipe is going to completely go through this thing's gut. It would bisect a humanoid in half. The water reforms around it.
Yeah. Slashing doesn't work on this.
He's going to look down at his. He's going to look down at his normal great axe. I hate this thing already. And now we're at Tia.
So we were basically on the bridge.
You are either on the shore or the bridge. Your call. If you would have crossed the bridge, let me know. I think you're all on the shore, though.
Okay.
You're all
and
on.
These things are.
They're in the stream itself.
Okay. So Malia hit one of them,
Yes.
and
They're.
Catamus went after the other one, or same one?
He went to its side. Basically, they can. So they're right here. Malia, Catamus, and I think you're like right here. So you could attack this one, or you could move over and attack the one on the other side of the bridge.
I'm gonna go after the other one, and I'm gonna try casting Blight on it.
Okay. What does that do?
It's necromantic energy that drains moisture and vitality from it.
Moisture and vitality.
I know, I laughed at that.
Okay,
It's fine.
and
It
so
needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
it drains moisture.
It says moisture.
Cool. I'm going to give
know.
myself disadvantage on this roll then.
Okay.
Because it deliberately drains moisture.
Yeah.
And it's a Constitution save.
Yeah.
Suck on this. I got a 9.
Oh, well then, so it failed.
Yep.
And then I need to roll 8d8 necrotic
Holy
damage.
shit!
If
Damn.
it succeeded, it would have taken half as much.
Okay.
But is this thing a construct?
No, it is an
Okay.
elemental.
Then it's fine. This doesn't affect undead or constructs. So.
It's okay.
Question. Does Zeno still have his dust of dryness?
That's exactly what I was just thinking.
Can you throw it in this thing's
That's why I
face?
had a wry grin on my face.
Okay,
Uh-oh,
so
Gary.
I have to roll this twice.
Uh-oh.
There was actual good discussion online
Okay.
about how Dust of Dryness affects elementals, but I can't remember right now.
I'm gonna run. This is gonna go great. Let's go. All right,
I'm
so
just going to
Tia.
continue.
17,
But I love how we thought the
18,
exact
19, 20,
But when Amy said moisture, I was like,
27.
Moisture.
I clicked into the exact
Aw.
You guys are doing awesome.
Amy,
29, 30, 31, 32, 33.
Damn,
35.
Amy.
how much?
35 necrotic damage. What the heck?
Cool. And this deliberately destroys water.
It says draining moisture and vitality from it. It's necromantic energy, so it's not like
Okay, I'll just say that it is standard, so 35. So that's going to drop it down to All right. So is this a touch attack, or is though
30
you just
feet range. Doesn't ask me to roll
So it's like
is it in multiple creatures or just one?
this one.
Okay, so you are going to point at it, and it's going to shriek as it suddenly convulses and becomes much smaller.
oh, nice.
And Xeno and Crocodile. Actually, Crocodile first.
Crocodile first?
Yeah.
Crocodile's gonna go after the small one.
Cool. Does it have magical bite?
It is just melee bite.
Okay, then go ahead and give me a Crocodile bite.
I will give you Crocodile bite.
Give me the Crocodile rock.
That's a 19 to hit.
All right, that's definitely going to hit. Now roll me damage.
Roll damage is... Let's go with this one here. No, that's... Yeah.
Its death roll is not going to be able to work on this, though. What did you roll? 1?
So that's gonna be 3 piercing. And grapple doesn't work on this one, you said?
It's going to roll right through it.
Okay.
It's going to jump up and chomp through the center of it and like land in the water next to it. And is going to look up with this look on its face like,
Bruh.
I do not want. All right, now it's Xeno's turn.
You know, he
You're gonna
thought
pull the
that
dust
exactly
up-
the same
okay.
thing. He's gonna pull out a bead and go,
Okay, I would like you to make me a ranged attack roll.
okay.
So basically just you're going to make a dexterity plus proficiency roll to hit it with the bead.
Okay.
Playing marbles.
Yep, so you have to beat my AC.
I mean, how far away from me is it?
5 feet.
So I could just reach out.
You could do a strength attack, but I assume that you have better
I have
dex.
better dex. Alright, so that's just...
This is just you don't get your accuracy like your elven your art bracers of elven archery or whatever.
So I just get my dex plus my proficiency?
Yeah, which is still like a +7.
So that's going to be 15, 16, 17, 18.
That is a hit.
Alright.
Okay, Dust of Dryness.
It absorbs, I think it was a 15 foot by 15 foot or something?
Okay, let's do a con save. That is a 5. Okay.
Yikes.
And it's a pellet, right?
Yeah, it's like a marble.
Well,
I'm assuming they're like this size.
one. Also, isn't it when you throw it on the ground, it reconstitutes?
Yes.
So
Like when
you could
break
then
it,
carry
it
around a
reconstitutes.
water elemental?
Yeah.
So you are
Well,
going
why
to
does it kill it?
throw the marble through. It's going to collide with the elemental. It's going to scream and hit the other bank and just deep, deep. And you're going to see this ball hit the bank on the other side through the steam, and you'll see it go. Jugga, jugga, jugga.
Like a Pokeball.
Jugga, 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 jugga. Chink! And it worked. You have caught a water elemental.
Oh my god.
Xenomon!
I'm gonna just reach out and grab
It's on the other bank, so you're gonna have. You could leap across.
Yeah, can I do acrobatics?
Yes, you may. Yes, you may. Oh, but one moment, please.
Opportunity.
Actually, yeah,
I don't- yeah.
acrobatics first to see if you beat my attack of opportunity.
And I don't induce an attack of
Oh, that's true. You don't anymore.
Oh wow, that
no.
sucks. 12.
That's enough to leap up.
Okay.
It's like a 7-foot gag. Actually, you shouldn't have even had to roll.
Okay.
But once I found out you didn't trigger attack.
Yeah.
So you're going to just pirouette, do a split, and you don't even quite get that it's ironic, but the rest of you are like, that's where they got it from. As he leaps across with toes, lands on the other side, and plucks up the.
It picks up my water elemental a la carte.
It kind of looks like.
Maybe put it in a different pouch.
Yes.
Reminder, you only have one more Dust of Dryness.
No, I don't.
What?
I had 7 to start with.
Was it 7? I thought it was
Yes.
3.
No, I had 7 to start.
How did you get 7?
It was we randomly rolled it.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, I really hope that I hope you label them, because in the middle of the combat, if you pull out like the
wrong one.
icky water and throw it in, go elementals! Oh no, it's poop water.
No, it's dead.
Okay, so the remaining elemental is going to surge.
Can I see like a little elemental face in the bead?
No,
No.
you can see swirling cleaner water though.
Okay.
Maybe you can see. Not at the moment though. It's pretty steamy out here.
Okay.
One of them is going to surge forward and is going to target.
Is it the same one that I attacked?
Yes.
The mini one.
So the other one is going to hit me.
Yeah, the other one's going to hit you directly. Actually, it's going to surge out onto the water, and is going to kind of surround you. I'm going to use my whelm attack. So each creature, and it's going to actually whelm you and Cadamus into it. I need both of us to make a strength saving throw.
Is it big enough to do that?
Yes. Cadamus failed.
19.
Okay, you did not. So Cadamus takes 7 points of bludgeoning damage. You will take nothing? Okay, that's great. So it's going to surge over you, and you're going to see Cadamus lifted off his feet and is like being spun around inside of this thing's gullet. And it is going to turn and roar at you in very vague Aquan that you get the sense of roar. Behind you, you can hear destroy.
Hey, what's
And
that?
then you're going to hear Malia roar back.
And it's your turn.
And it's just going to be a roar. And I'm going to wing my Dwarven Thrower at it.
Yep.
My magical weapon.
Just yep.
And I've infused it with Divine Might.
Ooh.
Have you?
I can Divine Strike once a turn.
Okay, go ahead.
Damn.
Is that
Every
level 8?
turn. Yes.
Holy shit.
Every turn, one turn, and one attack on a creature.
Fancy.
Nice.
Okay, so that is
Hi, dog. That's my screen. Don't knock it over.
22 to hit.
That's going to be a hit.
Okay. Can I borrow a d8?
Sure.
Oh, no.
Okay, so that's going to be my thunder damage.
Oh, no.
Okay, so...
Wait, thunder damage?
Yep.
Or lightning.
Thunder.
No, it's thunder. So that's...
So it's sound?
Please tell me what the thunder damage is separately.
Yeah, I'm doing that. So 14 regular damage and 7 thunder damage.
Okay, so 14 and 14. Got ya.
Oh.
Because I'm assuming that thunder for a being made of liquid, sonic, or anything
Yes.
that pushes out.
Oh yeah.
So
great.
fire, it probably wouldn't. Fire would probably be healed by air-based attacks.
Yeah, so it's
but
extra 1d8 thunder damage to
so
the
that's
target.
28 points of damage. You're going to put your Dwarven Thrower through its shoulder. It is going to erupt, and it's going to be enough that Cadamus falls into the creek and out of its stomach at least.
That's what I was aiming for.
All right, and now we are at Cadamus. Cadamus is going to make an athletics roll. Cadamus got a nat 20 to swim out.
Nice.
So that's good. And
He
Tia,
doesn't sink immediately.
he doesn't. Well, he does, but then he just
So-
stands up and walks out.
It's so
Walking
hefty.
underwater.
So this thing...
Just
thing's
oil
looking
disappeared.
pretty beat up now?
It is definitely the water elemental equivalent of bloodied. I think you can probably take it out.
Kill it, Tia.
I mean, part of me just wants to smack it with a tidal wave.
I don't know how that would work, but okay.
Like,
I might just ride it like a funny...
It might
well,
heal it.
it treats it like bludgeoning damage.
But it's
Not
like water on
water.
water.
I mean,
Mm,
you know what?
water,
I say
water action.
I say do it.
Okay, because it seems very amusing to me right now.
Taste of your
So,
Feels full.
instantaneous, one action, conjure up a wave of water.
It is
that
not
crashes-
immune to water.
Conjures up
I'm
a
just gonna
wave
put
of
that out here.
water that crashes down on an area within range.
Yep,
Range
they're
is
up to 30 feet long, up 10 feet wide, and 10 feet tall. Each creature in it, and Cadamus just made it out of the water.
Must make a dexterity saving throw. On a failure, the creature takes 4d8 bludgeoning damage and is
Amy?
knocked prone.
Suck it. I got a 9
So,
again.
4d8.
Suck 8. Oh, where's my other 8?
Where did it go? There it is.
Where do you had the date go?
4d8 bludgeoning and is not prone. Well, you'll be glad to know I rolled 3 1s and a 2.
You know what? Reroll those because that is ridiculous.
It's like, here.
That's absurd.
That's better.
Okay, that's a little better. Okay, it's
3
7,
ones.
8. That's 16.
Which way are you trying to push it? Back into the water, onto the shore?
Yeah, sure. Let's push it onto this shore.
Toward you or toward the main pool?
Whichever way seems to be least likely to impact these guys and
So
make
towards
it
us.
easier.
So
Yeah.
yeah, toward you guys will get you wet, but that's about it?
Yeah.
And you said 16 points of damage?
16. Yeah. And then it will... Water spreads it across the ground in all directions, extinguishing unprotected flames in an area within 30 feet of it, and then it vanishes.
Okay.
It's
not
prone.
A giant tidal wave of water is going to burst out of this stream and throw the elemental onto the rocks behind you. And it's going to roar in anger as it is knocked to the ground. And
I think it just knocks it down. I don't think it pushes it unless you want to.
it does push
cool.
it. It's made of water, and you're making a tidal wave.
Yeah, it's true.
Like
It's
it kind of
already.
has to be carried.
Yeah.
Also, if you're in the water, it's kind of a dick move. Zeno, you are up.
That was fun.
I am up. Alright, so how far away from us is this thing right now? It's like right...
It is on the ground right next to you now.
Oh, okay.
And
So if it's prone, then
it's
you
prone.
have
So
advantage
any
on-
melee attacks get advantage against it. And yeah.
Okay, well, I am going to... take a step back.
Okay.
And I am going to shoot silver arrows in it.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to do.
Sure. It's going to be a... You don't get advantage or disadvantage at this with this because you're kind of standing over it.
Yeah, I mean...
But it's still ranged. So go ahead.
It's still pretty large, and it's a...
You said silvered arrows?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't want those normal arrows for this thing.
That sounds great.
Alright, so that's 2 attacks.
Okay.
I didn't specify that I did the
That's okay. Don't worry about it.
Alright, so that's gonna be where's my hit chart? 14 to hit.
Okay.
Plus 14 to hit. And I got a 9 for my lowest roll.
Sounds good. You are going to plug 2 arrows into its torso, and it is on its action going to stand up. The arrows are going to pass right through it. Because shooting water with arrows is not... yeah. It is, however, going to stand up, look down at the arrows, look over at you, and it's going to punch you in the face.
That is a reasonable thing to have happen.
So it's going to punch Tia as well because it's got reach. So you are the red dice, Zeno. You are the black dice, Tia. 20.
Yes.
That's a hit.
So that's. It doesn't actually have the. Oh, plus 7. There we go. 24 and 23, respectively.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That hits.
No,
Okay.
it doesn't actually. You know.
Zeno, you're going to take 19.
Okay.
And Tia, you're going to take 12 points of damage as it looks at you, cranks you in the face, nice and good with a wave of water from its fist, and is going to backhand Tia across the mouth. And it is very hurt, though. It is very hurt. Malia.
Divine
Okay.
Strike.
God, you can do that every round.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
Love it.
Okay.
Alright, so that is...
It's probably a hit.
22.
22 is a hit. And how much damage?
There's one more in here. There it is.
Really.
18 regular damage. And 5 thunder damage.
Okay. You are going to strike it directly in the chest, and it is going to sag, being able to only kind of face you as it kind of bubbles in your direction on the equivalent of its knees, which have kind of merged together into a single pillar of water, and one of its arms. It is reaching out toward you with another one as it is Tia's turn, because Catamus is on the other shore looking at what to do.
Yeah, that's
A bit
fair.
waterlogged.
I could throw another tidal wave at this, but that seems like a waste of spells.
It looks like it's almost out.
Also, we're just about to have a long rest.
Also, don't
true.
forget, you do have several magic items on you. Like, you have a magic sword and a magic...
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking I'm just gonna, like, pull out my scimitar
Oh, Kelly.
and smack it.
My crocodile wouldn't have
magical.
done anything anyways. Because he's not magical.
That's true.
Just sitting.
He's just like...
Make a saving throw for your crocodile, see if he got swept on shore, too.
12.
Does
He did
a
not. He's fine. He was out of rage.
24 hit?
Yes, it does, by a lot.
And then 7 points of damage from a magic weapon.
All right, and with that, as it reaches up at you, you're going to just cut it down the center, and it's going to collapse into just a giant, a giant puddle. About a 10-gallon puddle is going to suddenly appear in front of you. Sploosh. Speaking of sploosh, midway across the battlefield at the other side,
Oh, Kelly. One
I'm
quick thing.
probably
After she
giant.
kills... Can I just reach and pick up my 2 arrows again?
yeah, they're fine.
Yeah.
But okay.
They're
So
wet.
I'm assuming this went like stab and then like explode, and now she's drenched.
If that's what you'd like, yes.
Probably. And
Yes.
kind of like
Sploosh.
damp.
Sounds like they're done.
Oh, the elementals.
Yep.
Oh, well. Come and go.
Yep.
Lower.
Okay.
Okay, make me another sleight of hand roll.
Oh my god!
Or you can take 10.
I mean,
But rolling the dice makes the
Rolling's
clicky clack.
clicky clack.
Is that a nat
You
20?
click clack math
28.
cubes.
28? Okay, so the steam vents are going to start clearing up slightly around here. And as they do, you are all fairly wet and drenched, and the dwarf is sputtering, or one of the dwarves is sputtering. And as the steam kind of blows out of the way, you will see Mars giving a Merid a very
Intimate
intimate back massage. And the Merid has kind of slid the straps of its bikini top off to like, and is kind of just like cupping it to her chest as Mars is working the mid back.
And poor Farrah's just like,
Can Marys melt?
this one is. No, just kidding.
You are a good servant, she says in Aquan.
You said that you're quite a ways from home, hey?
Yeah.
What's your home called?
The plane of water.
Plane of water.
And I am its princess.
How do you get to the plane of water?
Magic.
Portal?
Do you want to go back? Farah says. Sure. It sucks here anyway. Which sounds gorgeous out of Aquan. It's like, Salas must. It's like, dude, it totally sucks here. Actual Aquan.
Dude.
You know what? I'm just gonna sit down, and start drawing off my hammer, and just let Mars handle this until something else comes up.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I can send her back.
You can?
Tia's gonna start
Yeah.
wringing
It's
water
what I did
out
to
of
that
her braids
manticore.
and her hair.
But if you're from the place that I can send you back to, I can send you to another reality. But if it's where you're from, you stick around.
Do you want to go home?
Yes, I do. That's very nice. You know, and she'll turn around and look at you, letting the string of her bikini top kind of slough off one of her gorgeous shoulders. She reaches up and cups your chin and jaw with one of her hands. If you're ever in the elemental plane of water,
What did you say?
if you're ever in the elemental plane of water, look me up.
Okay. Cool.
My name there is Desire of the Deep. I have plenty of room for a good servant. And she's going to kiss you very deeply.
Oh, heck.
Which is going to feel like giving yourself it's like one of the smoothest kisses that you've ever had in your life, and one part saltwater rinse.
You know what? I can can imagine this. I have a story for later.
Good. So once you finish getting wet,
Dark Tales after dark.
Dark Tales after dark. So once you are very moistened by her kiss, basically, and it's going to kind of dribble out of your mouth a little as she pulls away.
It's not all her, honestly. Like
It's true. And
just
Farrah's going to look up and go, and is going to cast banishment, and she's going to blink out of existence.
and she will go back though, like legit, right?
Yeah, she's back.
That was easy.
That was really easy. You should make out with people more often on the battlefield.
Okay.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was weird. And you are going to hear the sound of yelling behind you.
I'm gonna turn around and go take a look.
Oh, I'm gonna
Yep.
stand up and heft my hammer.
Yeah. I'm gonna go walk to the door.
As you stand up from the side of the pool, you are going to see an immense shape walk up the steps of this pool. He stands almost 7 feet tall, of rippling green-gray muscle. His bare chest is covered in scars, as well as a number of amulets and necklaces. Around his waist is a thick belt, almost this wide at the belly button, and you can see that his nudity is covered by stitched pants and several very thick hides. Something large is strapped to his back, and in his hand he is carrying an axe that looks like it was carved out of a mountain.
Jesus.
The largest, fiercest orc that you have ever seen is standing in front of you. The hair jetting around his broken tusks is braided into a long beard that is streaked with silver. And he is going to push forward and is going to head into the pool.
I'm gonna
I'm just gonna kind of watch.
try and stand aside.
I'm just gonna sit on the rock.
And this is an orc?
This is a full-blood orc.
Oh, dang.
As you look at him, I'd like you to make me a perception roll.
Sure.
You can make actually perception or investigation, your call, or insight actually, depending
Perception's
on.
my best, honestly.
Then go with perception.
With advantage or just...
No, just
No,
regular.
Just regular, okay.
Anybody else can make me an insight roll though.
Sure.
We can see this now.
Yeah.
You can absolutely see this, and as he steps into the water.
20.
20.
It's gonna be a
Like both of you, Nat.
14.
Not now.
But still, it's great.
18.
Jesus.
14. It was so close to being much higher, and then it flipped
And
to
then
an
it
8.
didn't.
Oh,
Spend your
I have
inspiration.
+3 in insight.
I can do that. I'll spend my inspiration.
So
Yeah, do it.
Mine's a plus.
20.
Nat 20.
Nat 20.
Nice.
Nice.
You are going to see that he has various tattoos on his arms. And around his forearms, you can see that he has tattoos of broken chains, which means that he is basically one of the chosen berserkers of the Bitch Queen.
Of the bitch queen?
Yes, if you... Yes.
Do any of you know the orc stuff, or is
you
this
got
something I know?
20s. The orc tribes worship someone that in the common tongue is known as the Bitch Queen, the betrayer, the breaker of chains. The orcs were originally a slave race brought to this land, and the Bitch Queen is their goddess, demi-goddess, the orc slave that rose up and led a revolution and freed the orcs.
Okay.
Cool.
She's basically like female Spartacus to
Okay,
them.
cool.
Okay.
Cool.
The Great Uniter.
The Great Uniter is what it's called in Orcish, but the Bitch Queen is what it's called by most people, because...
Is what she's gonna mumble. Like,
especially among the elves. The elves fucking hate.
Because the orcs were our slaves.
Yes. Because elves are bad.
Because elves are
And
bad.
I'm just like, okay.
He's going to reach behind him, and he has this large, about 4 foot wide bundle on his back, like a cocoon. Hold on. And he's going to pull it off of his back and lay it in the water.
I'm guessing a kid.
Healing waters.
And he'll start to unwrap the package. And you'll see that there's the shape of something humanoid inside. It has a slight tusk to its mouth. It's a half-orc of some kind. And as he looks down at it, it's very rare to see something this strong, and yet the hands, the fingers, are shaking slightly. With those insight rolls, you're going to notice this completely. He's going to look down, and the creature that he cradles in his arms, its eyes are full of swirling black.
Oh.
Necrotic energy pours out of its mouth and nostrils, its ears and eyes.
Does it look like a curse?
It looks like something bad. Nothing.
I will approach carefully, keeping within his sight range the whole time, and with my hammer on my back.
And Tia's also...
You were the ones from Dog Run Bridge.
Yes?
Uh-oh.
He will turn his gaze and look directly at Zeno. Elf,
Everyone looks at me like that.
your sword. Give it to me. Now.
I'm turning to Farah. I'm like, Farah?
She's with me in the water.
She's...
All like over in the middle of the pool.
She'll see what she thinks. Well, she got, you know what? She actually got a 22 on insight. So she... Sure.
What?
I've heard of you.
What happened?
And he's going to take the sunblade in his hands, feel around the handle. And he's going to rip it in half. You're going to see his muscles strain, the cords in his neck, as he grunts and starts to peel the metal apart, exposing a shining bauble in the center. Wow. And is going to press it against the child's chest. And there's going to be this incredible eruption of radiant light. And when it's done, the light will clear and the moonlight will shine down. And this child will just be asleep in the water. And you can see now that it's a girl with a slight dusty tinge to her skin, but it's pink. It's a half-orc girl. Maybe 12, 13.
What happened to her?
She was cursed by the gods. For my actions. Girl. It is okay. You will be fine. I am Yargle, the Defiler.
I'm Tia Armstrong.
I am the creator of Carrion. You follow the Lord of War. He looks down at your sword.
Yes.
I have heard about your travels. I've heard about the Sunblade. You were not easy to track. Rovi, you will be fine.
Is there any lingering damage potentially?
You follow the Sky Goddess.
Yes.
You may look.
I will approach.
Very drained. Anything like probably a lesser remove curse would be good here.
Okay. I have remove curse.
Good. I would do that just to be safe.
What did you say his name was?
He is Yargol. I'll be right back. The dog is whining.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, whiny dog.
The Defiler?
The Defiler.
There's something else to that too. Something about the carrion?
No, he asked if you follow the carrion.
Oh, okay. Right, yeah. And
You've heard of this guy.
I have. Okay.
Yes, he is an orcish war chief who yes, he is basically a ghost.
Huh.
Yeah. So, at a touch, all curses affecting one creature, object end.
And
I thank you for this.
Does she seem at all injured from...
Just exhausted. I thank you as well.
Are you staying here, or do you have to leave? It might be best to let her rest for the night. I can spot you gold if you need.
I have gold.
Okay. Just thought I'd offer.
But I will accept your offer.
Okay.
I do not think we will be welcome here after what I did to the attendants who tried to keep me out.
We were just in here fighting a bunch of stuff. So you came at a good time.
We can help explain.
Yeah.
They will live.
I
That's the
also
important
can
part.
make sure of that.
There was no need to cleave them in twain. They were just humans and elves and halflings.
Alright.
Humans, elves, and halflings are pretty easy to cleave in half.
Oh my.
she is going to attempt to do any, proper orcish, greetings, formalities, gestures. I'm gonna
Which
make-
tribe are you from?
It's a story from a long ago.
Well,
You are a demon.
Well,
And you are something else.
I'm
Cast a look over at Farah.
indirectly from the Stormtusk clan.
The Stormtusks are dead.
I'm... What?
They have been amalgamated into other clans.
Oh,
The Stormtusks now ride with several other banners.
I just know my...
What is your name, girl?
she told him.
I'm Tia Armstrong.
Is that your orc name?
No.
Do you have an orc name?
Is the same as in common or in orcish?
He's saying in common.
Okay. Not really, no. There was no chance.
We will
to-
change that.
I would be honored.
My child must rest.
I'm gonna head down first.
Okay.
However, a debt must be paid. For the sacrifice of your sword. And he reaches down and unclips his belt. And sets it down on the rock next to all of you. This should be sufficient. I will rest now.
What is her name?
Rolvi.
Movie?
She was named by her mother. Willoth. The Storm Giant. I will find rest. And he turns and storms off through the water. Which honestly is only about knee deep on him.
Malia will have headed down
Okay.
ahead and tried to meet whoever's coming from the
I would like you
attendants,
to make me a
etc.
persuasion roll with advantage.
What was the storm giant?
The Storm Giant?
Nat 20.
No shit.
Well, I rolled an 18 out of 20, so...
That's great.
Was daughter was Rolly
Rolvi, and the mother was someone named Uloth,
Olaf.
the storm giantess, I suppose. Mm-hmm. The physics of that are pretty great.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure.
So to wrap up game, what you will do is you will manage to patch this through. And
Basically-
are you going to tell a lie, or are you just going to be like, look, he was just trying to heal his kid?
Yeah, I'm going to look. His kid. I don't think I could have fixed that curse.
So long
he thought
as
that he'd heard about the healing waters, and that's what he was desperately trying to get to. We sacrificed a magical item to fix his child. He wants rest. We're gonna pay for it. It's just a normal room.
And then they'll be on their way.
I'll patch up the people who've been hurt. It was the actions of a desperate father, sort of thing.
Well done.
Okay, that's fantastic, actually. Good job. You'll be able to patch that up, and all of you will manage to go and enjoy the rest of the night, relaxing. Woo! And an extra free night here. Because you managed to do this with doing minimal damage to the property.
Yeah.
Too, you've never done that before, and
That's impressive.
I'm so proud of you.
I didn't
And we
have
didn't
to
have
roll
to fight
initiative.
the main enemy.
You didn't either of them, because you could have fought him too. Don't fight Yargle.
I don't know.
Don't fight Yargle.
Aw.
Like this is like the minimum of what he looks
Oh,
like.
Jesus.
Yeah,
I think he's level. I think he's CR 15 or 16. And he's a special boy. Because if you haven't guessed some things about him immediately, we'll talk in a minute.
See?
And with that, he has left you something in exchange for the destroyed sword. It is a belt of hill giant strength.
Oh, snap.
That automatically raises anyone's strength score to 21.
Jeez.
Heck.
So you have 2 strength lifting items in the party now. You guys can
Nice.
negotiate.
Yeah.
And Zeno does not need it.
I could go more strength heavy for sure.
I will say one thing. Belts are something that work when you shapeshift.
Yee. I should
Because a
take
belt
that.
becomes a collar.
Nice.
And with that, you will enjoy the rest of the night and the rest of this relaxing period of time.
Sweet.
And as you are relaxing and spending an extra day here, in the middle of the night, one night, well, not middle of the night, but late in the evening after a bit of drinking and after you've gone to bed and just kind of relaxed on that second night, Malia, at your door, you'll hear,
I'll get up and answer it.
and you can see that a slightly troubled-looking Cadamus is standing there.
Aye.
Hi. He'll speak at you in Dwarven with his mountain accent. I've thought of something I want to talk to you about.
Come in.
I'd rather stay out here.
Alright.
It's a proposition, if you'll allow it.
What did you have in mind?
If you find me a forge hard enough, I think I can fix it.
She'll focus on him really intently at that.
If you'll trust the Warforge.
Don't see any reason to hold you accountable for
I
what
guess my ship ain't
8
sailing
generations
this-
ago did.
I was excited.
You've got the signs of a good smith.
Then we need to find a forge. And we're going to call game there for the night.
I totally thought he was gonna propose. I was like,
Oh,
Don't you know how dwarves propose? They make weapons for each other.
well, he's gonna fix one that was already broken. So I thought he was gonna forge
That's-
her
he's
ring.
good at
I was like,
fixing-
"Whoa."
One ring to rule them all, one ring to bind them, and an alimony blind them. All right, so that's going to be it for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed this little side adventure.
This was so fun.
We're going to be getting into more stuff later. Thank you so much for tuning in. We have Curse of Strahd this Saturday, so definitely tune in for that because it's going to be great.
Watch me be a giant Goliath.
It's true, and it's so hard to say
Did you guys enjoy the little NPC at the end? Like, I like Yorgel.
I love it.
Boy.
I'm so happy.
Girl! And it's hard with this mic because I don't want to blow it out, but I was just like, you, boy, hand me that sword.
Elf, why does everyone look at me like that?
Because you have a magic item, boy. I was trying to get that depth with it, right? Hope that was good. Hope that was good. All right, thank you so much for tuning in because I love God of War. And I was like, this guy's an orc. I want an orc of war. Yeah.
That was good.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you next time in Generic Fantasy Setting number 17735, Season 2, Episode 12. Can you believe that's going to be Episode 35 of the series?
Damn.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. We're in our 30s now. That means we are just starting to pay back our student loans. All right. Talk to you later. Good night.